Good. All right. Good evening, Blue Jay fans, and welcome to Bondurant, Iowa for this non-district matchup between the visiting Lewis Central Titans and your Bondurant for our Blue Jays. This is Patrick Meyer with Josh Gibson on the call. How you doing, Josh?
Doing great. Great to be here.
Nice day out here. Far changed from our last home game where we were dying up here in the box.
Finally feels a little bit like football weather.
A little sprinkling going on and cooling off a bit. It's going to be an exciting night. Tell you what, the weather's the only thing cooling off because the points are going to be plentiful tonight, I think.
I think this has the potential to be one of the best games, best matchups we've ever seen on this field. You got two top 10 teams, two teams that are super explosive, so I expect some fireworks tonight.
So Blue Jays, you're probably familiar with it, but if you aren't, Blue Jays are going to be led by a dynamic offense led by Titus Cram and Reed Falsgraf at the receiver position. Titus is kind of perennial now, one of the top running backs in the state, and right now Reed is the leading receiving yardage for Class 4A in Iowa. So a lot of firepower between those two, and that's not even mentioning the other options we have there.
Definitely a 1-2 punch that is really hard to defend because you're kind of left with that decision of how are you gonna stop the run? Are you going to play man-to-man or single coverage out on Falsgraf? Are you going to have to load the box up? And I think I've said this before. You kind of have to pick your poison. I think you have to pick one or the other. It's really hard for teams to stop both.
One thing we saw a little more last week is you saw Titus split out with the Reed on the same side and going out for some passes, really trying to create some disadvantages. So that we'll see if that continues on into tonight.
I love when we do that because we're able to put a guy in at running back that is still a really good running back, and now the defense all of a sudden has to guard two really good wide receivers and still stop the running game. So that puts the defense in a even bigger bind than the original.
That running back being Caleb Moore, number 2 for the Blue Jays, not to be confused with Caleb Moore, number 15 for the Lewis Central Titans. So if it feels like we're saying Caleb Moore a lot tonight, well, it might be two people or it might be one. You never know. Yeah, definitely some exciting offense to be talked about tonight. Defense is obviously going to be then a primary indicator here because it's whoever makes some big stops is going to be maybe be the difference here.
Yeah, I think looking at the stats right there, stats per game, you can kind of see it up on your screen. You've got both teams averaging over 200 yards per game on the ground, and I think the team that is able to run the football with most consistency tonight is probably going to have the most success. I don't know if teams are going to be able to just drop back without the run game.
Yeah.
I think both teams will be able to apply some pressure if there isn't a running threat. So,
I mean, we obviously have become familiar with our defensive line getting through there at number 4, Batney Riak, and 55 Dalton House has been in the backfield quite a bit lately, so definitely looking to put pressure on. It'll be interesting to see if the Titans are able to maybe take advantage of the aggressiveness by a counter or a late draw or just stepping up in the pocket and letting them get deep.
Yep, for sure. And one other thing I think to look at with some of those numbers are a little misleading is our schedule maybe quite hasn't matched theirs. They really have not had a week off.
No.
You start off with state champion Harlan in Class 3A who, watching that film, their D really flies around. Then you go down to Creston, which was maybe a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Lewis Central definitely outplayed them, but missed some opportunities that cost them. And then last week in an absolute dogfight with ADM, who I thought was probably the number 1 team, and maybe was up until Dahl breaking his arm.
Sure. But there was a lot of points in that game. That was a 38-31 game. So, like I said, defense might have been a difference maker, or the lack of defense on one side maybe. Surprisingly, I think that was a 0-0 score at the end of the first.
It was, yeah.
So definitely an ability to step up late. As we look out on the field, you see the band getting ready. There's a few extra kids out there tonight as the 8th grade is having an opportunity to play with the high school marching band, so that's an exciting opportunity for them.
Yeah, they were over here first hour today practicing with the varsity, getting ready for tonight.
You lost a few of your students probably as they went out to warm up with them, but definitely a nice little transition, get the 8th graders interacted with what Blue Jay Marching Band is all about. Blue Jays are taking the field. All right, great rendition there by the Blue Jay Marching Band with the help of the 8th grade Blue Jays. So as we get back into talking about tonight's game, I think you have some keys to the game tonight.
I already mentioned one. We mentioned the run game, and I think that with the Blue Jays having at least two guys, you got Titus and Moore that can both carry the rock, and you got a quarterback that can scramble. The Titans are in a similar position. They've kind of got a two-headed monster at running back, a little bit of thunder and lightning. Both guys are really good, really hard to tackle. So that's going to be another thing that's because we've seen Titus and Moore are not easy to tackle. It might come down to which team tackles better. The other thing is miscues. The one loss we saw this year, we saw us turn the ball over 4 times, had a number of penalties, and it's the same thing with Lewis Central. Their loss to Creston, they missed a couple field goals. They threw a pick in the end zone. So whatever team can avoid those big miscues will probably have an advantage. And then the last one, whoever's special teams is actually special. We've been good in some areas, but we've also missed some extra points and some field goals that really could cost you in a game like this. And like I mentioned, Lewis Central missed a couple of field goals. I know their kicker can kick it. They've kicked a decent. He's made 4, I think, 4 out of 6. So they can kick it. So I think whatever team maybe makes the biggest play on special teams will also have a really big advantage.
Yeah, I think also 6 of 6 on PATs for the Lewis Central kicker, so that definitely could come down to a 1-point missed block or anything like that.
It really did affect our game with Norfolk, our inability to convert. We missed some, then we started going for 2 and didn't get them, and really lost some points. So that's definitely something you want to avoid tonight.
Yeah, 1-point difference can really drive you nuts there at some point. You got to make some tougher calls. And
this game really is big for both. They each have 1 loss. You get that second loss, and you're going to be traveling somewhere. And I think it's probably more important for us just because our schedule looks different than theirs. We don't have anybody on our schedule outside of Lewis Central here that's going to boost it. I think Gilbert was the next highest, which
I think that might not be 100% accurate based off their quality of opponent as well.
Which I was going to say very likely will probably drop, but there's not a high-quality win available.
I mean, it's early. Teams could surprise, but it doesn't look like Bondurant has a super challenging schedule going the rest of the way, whereas Lewis Central still has at Norwalk and DCG, who both have looked tough, and Glenwood can be dangerous.
I mean, the thing about our district, though, this is their last week to kind of prove themselves. Then you're just feeding off of each other. So, you can't really grow a whole lot.
Right. And if you don't remember, 4A and 5A, it's 100% an RPI base, so strength of schedule and opponent schedule and all of that. So it doesn't come down to the rankings like the smaller classes do. That being said, there's like 6 sets of rankings out there right now, and they're all over the place on what everybody has.
And I think the way things are playing out, like almost everybody's going to have a loss before this thing's said and done. So if you go 8-1 and you win this game, you got a really good shot at hosting too before you go up to the Dome.
Very much so, yeah, because I think right now you got like North Scott, Western Dubuque, and I think Norwalk was undefeated, right?
And Gilbert, and Boone, two teams that are unlikely to be undefeated. Unlikely, but you never know.
We haven't seen either one of them this year, but it looks like based off their opponents, they're probably not a 1-2 loss team. So we'll see how things play out. But, North Scott will still have to play Xavier, and they're playing Western Dubuque tonight. So one of those 2 teams are going to get their first loss. And
Xavier ended up with a real tough schedule as well.
Yeah.
And when you see Waverly Shell Rock on the schedule, you're thinking, hey, that's going to be a good one. And they got a really good shot at 0-4 tonight going up against Clear Lake, who's 3-0. So thinking that game was going to help, it really is not looking like it's going to at this juncture. Waverly
could also turn into one of those Pella seasons from last year where they they started out 0-4 and then all of a sudden they're win 4 out of the last 5 and almost make the playoffs. So definitely early in the season to start jumping too far ahead, but this will probably be one of the better games all year, and not just for these 2 teams, but overall in 4A,
for sure, and definitely in Class 4A, it's got to be one of that top 2 or 3 games. All right, it looks like the Jays are going to start with the kickoff tonight.
So we'll get that first look at the Titan offense.
Titus has been pretty consistent putting the ball in the end zone.
Definitely a weapon to have out there with the way he's been.
We don't have any
kicking.
flags on the goalpost, so I can't tell if it's swirling out there or not.
The flags in the end zone, though, the U.S. flag and the Iowa flag both look pretty dead.
Those are at a standstill.
Yeah.
So not much of effect by wind.
Probably not. Titus with the kick, kicks it deep.
That one's going to be playable.
Number 1, Brody Patlin with the return. Gets ahead of steam. A block in the back is going to be called, so the rest of this play is irrelevant, but Titus gets the tackle anyway.
We got
There's
three
flags.
That's a record, I think, on a kickoff. I've seen an opening kickoff, and maybe they're all calling the same one. It was right in the middle. It was pretty obvious.
I say otherwise I'm concerned about the eagerness of flags that we're having here because I don't want to see a 35 flag night.
Yeah, I think it was a number we don't have on our roster, but obvious block in the back. Didn't really need to either. I think the return man was probably already going to be passed.
I just glanced down. ADM's up 20-0 over Norwalk right now.
Yeah, that's probably all she wrote.
That's actually amazing. So first down at the 7 for the Titans. 4 receiver set. Now tight end coming in. Going to hand it off up the middle to Chappelle. Chappelle stopped for a short gain by Cram and Moore. Going to be a gain of probably 2 yards.
Yeah, Moore doing a really nice job there of seeing that opening and shooting through there. Not hesitating whatsoever. Making that tackle about the line of scrimmage.
The wall maker to the near side receiver. He's a tall receiver. Falsgraf matched up on him. Curtis Whitty at the top. He's a pretty notable receiver himself. They're looking at Maker off the start, throwing deep, and it's too far. Maker goes down, but not going to be a flag on that. As I look up and I see it's kind of a little drizzle coming down if you look in the lights.
And the Titans really do like to throw the ball down the field, but the coverage that we're offering up there, and there's a reason why he's a 6'7" target.
Right.
You want to give him a chance, but when you're playing that soft a cushion, that's really probably not the throw you want to make.
It's going to be 3rd and 8 now.
Especially against Falsgraf, who's tall himself and can jump.
Yeah. Maker definitely has a height advantage on him, but I don't know that he's got the high jump. Play action, rolling to the right, and pass is going to be incomplete, force and 4th down.
I think
on the
Parker's
defense.
pressure there made him a little nervous and got rid of the football in a hurry. Pretty good start there for the Jays. Can't ask for much more than that.
They're going to have to pump from their own 7. Dangerous things can happen there.
Brings up 4th and 8 for the Tigers.
You're going to see, I think, Hetzel roll quite a bit. And
not a big punter here, about a little over 30 yards on average.
Falsgraf at the 50, midfield to receive.
Spread formation.
Short punt.
Very
Hopefully
high.
everybody gets away. That's going to bounce. Oh, it gets a good bounce and going to roll to about the 44, maybe 45. Going to go to the 45. Blue Jays will take over.
Yeah, ended up getting close to a 10-yard roll there. I thought for a moment it was just going to roll sideways.
Right.
I suppose the positive there for the Titans is the high punt. Nobody's returning that thing.
Yeah. Although that's not exactly the high-risk area typically for the Blue Jays over the last several years, really.
No.
We don't return a lot of punts.
No, and that's okay. When you got an explosive offense, you don't.
Right. You just want the ball caught.
Yeah. Let's get the ball, especially on this side of the 50.
Okay, Blue Jays coming out. We got Caleb Moore and Jordan Ryle split to the right. Titus in the backfield and Reed Falsgraf to the high side. Wildcat offense. Titus looking to run right away. Right up the middle. Nowhere really to go. He finds 3 yards and still trying to drive.
No whistle there. Let that play out.
Going to let the 3-yard carry go.
I think another thing to look at is the Titans are pretty big up front.
Yeah.
And we do have a few guys that are a little bit smaller. We're pretty good size ourselves, but how well we handle their big guys up front, especially 74 Rutledge. I think they listed him at 6'6", 280 or 285, something like that.
I'm intrigued by 78 right there over the center. He's a freshman, Kyler McNeil. That's a big freshman.
You do not see a lot of freshmen.
Titus with the stiff arm, tries to get to the outside, gains about a yard. Maybe, no, I think they're going to give him a yard.
You don't see a lot of freshmen starting these type of games at the 4A level.
Right.
This is
they got him listed as 6'1", 275, and he I don't think they're exaggerating.
Yeah, he looks the part. So big first play here for the Jays, 3rd and about 6.
Yeah.
Maybe you're going to see a little play action here.
McDonald to the near side, Aiden. Reed Falsgraf and Titus Cram going high side. Caleb Moore in the backfield. Vanderlinden next to Ryle. Play action. Good blitz pickup. Ryle lets it go. Falsgraf has it at the 27. Brought down by Whitty.
Great job out of Ryle.
First down.
Staying in the pocket because he definitely had some pressure, and he did take a shot here and delivers a strike. He really has had a great year so far, about 60%, over 600 yards passing and 5 touchdowns, no picks.
And on that one just shows a lot of composure. Good blitz pickup there by Caleb Moore in the middle.
Yeah, they were coming. They almost got home.
We got Ryle split out right again. Cram in the backfield. Takes the direct snap, rolling to the right behind the lead block of Vanderlinden. He's going to fall forward to about the 19, a gain of 8 on the play.
Looks like big old Rutledge there with the tackle, trailing from behind, but really nice initial surge and blocking there out of the Blue Jays.
When your fullback has a hole to run through before he hits anybody, you feel a lot better about it, right?
Yep.
That gave him an opportunity to get a block on Owen Thomas, the leading tackler for the Titans.
It's always interesting to see how teams defend that Wildcat. Do you stay true to your beliefs and how you play defense, or do you treat it like, hey, there's not a quarterback in the backfield?
Right. Trips right. Cram takes a snap. Fakes right. Goes up the middle. He's going to pick up the first down and be down at about the 8-yard line.
Again, another nice
13-yard line.
Initial surge there. Pretty good gap up the middle. Jay's almost inside the 10-yard line now.
Real solid drive starting out here for the Blue Jays. It's nice to see if you're on this side of it.
Nice double team on Rutledge there. They drove him back about 5 yards. Kind of stood up, allowed us to get underneath him.
Cram fakes the pass, then cuts up the middle, has a hole, cutting through, and he's going to get down at the 1-yard line. Gain of 12.
I don't know if Titus was watching the Thursday night game last night, but got to be careful on reaching in the end zone. One of the,
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, maybe
it's
not
a weird rule,
not
right?
Not the best rule, that's for sure.
If you fumble inside the 1 and have it go out of bounds in the end zone, the other team gets the ball at the 20. Blue Jays going to put Ryle back in there at quarterback. Cram behind him. Falsgraf to the near side. Handoff, Cram up the middle into the end zone for a Blue Jay touchdown. Titus Cram for 1 yard.
Boy, that looked pretty easy, that entire drive. There wasn't that initial 3rd and 6, which Ryle completed.
Yep.
But overall, Jay's having a pretty easy way of running the football.
And it was really just stamping it on Cram's back and saying, hey, go get it.
A lot of times it was the same play, just a little power play right up the middle. Everybody down block, kick out with your guard.
Falsgraf to snap or to kick. Kick is up. Kick is no good. Left. Huh. Well, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us, but Blue Jays start out with a 6-0 lead.
Well, if we keep scoring like that, we'll be okay.
Sure. Probably a good time to give some props to the line and the fullbacks and the tight end on that, because they move piles against a good-sized defensive line.
They did. In reality, you just got to give Titus and Caleb just a little bit of a seam. Like we mentioned, they're super hard to tackle, especially get ahead of steam going. So great job. Maybe Titans might be rethinking their game plan here a little bit. I don't know after watching that first one. We'll see what kind of changes they make here on the second drive. If they end up throwing 2 passes, they might try to run a little bit more, I think.
Very important response here from the Titans. Looks like Patlin or Ortega are the deep backs again. Cram's kick is up.
Oh, that's offsides, but the ref.
And that's going to be into the end zone and dang near out. We ran offsides?
Yeah, we were offsides pretty far. The ref reached for his flag, couldn't find it, and then just let it go. I don't know who that was. Maybe 30 or 9.
The irony is that's a 5-yard penalty. And if that same kick happens, it's still a touchback because he was 9 yards deep.
Yep. Yeah, you'd hate to have him re-kick that one.
Yeah. So Titans out here for their second drive. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Hetzel will take the snap, hands it off up the middle to Chappelle. Chappelle tries to bounce to the outside, has a little room. Aiden McDonald on the tackle and finished up by Cram and Falscraft. But it's going to be a first down for the Titans on a 12-yard carry.
Well, I really thought he was going to try to bounce that, and he kind of made the cut back towards the middle because it looked like everything down here was very green.
Mm-hmm.
Good initial, kind of plug the hole, then he bounces it to the left. Like I said in pregame, he's a tough runner. Both their guys they're
Same
tough dudes.
Play, but that's brought down in the backfield. House at his ankles, and then he had a group of friends come in, help finish up, led by Moore, Baker, and Vanderlinden.
House really makes that play there, basically brings him to a stop, and allows the other guys to get to the party. Hopefully they give him a little credit for that tackle.
Yeah, I don't know who's taking credit on or for the stats here, but House definitely was a key on that one.
He definitely forced that. All right, we had some people run off, back on.
Chappelle's back out, so trips right, tight end to the left, Chappelle to the left or to the right, switching back and forth.
There we go.
All right, now we're splitting out wide with that's Bryce Juan, and they're looking for Juan. Cram's on him, and that ball's going to be out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, interesting choice there. Again, it almost looked like he was kind of double-teamed, had a man underneath, and then Titus over the top. So pretty good coverage there. I don't know if he caught a lot of passes.
He's one of their primaries. Yeah, I mean, no, that's not true. He's had one reception.
You know, that's what that was another, I guess, surprise decision there. Another third and long here.
He was a primary on their tacklers. He's up there,
Gotcha.
number 5 on the. I'm like, I know the name for a reason. So third and long, deep ball from Hetzel is caught, but backs up. He's going to work his way back to a first down.
That's a great throw out of the quarterback.
And flag on the play. That was Whitty with the catch.
I got to think that's probably on us with 3 dudes over there. Maybe a late hit. Maybe something extracurricular. Maybe it was Whitty talking trash. I don't think so. It looks like we're going the other way. Yep.
Late hit on House. Is that what they called? That's a tough one. I mean,
definitely don't want to see that.
So it's going to tack on some yards. It's going to be first down at the 41. They're going to hand it to Chappelle back up the middle. Cuts back to the left. Has a little bit of room. Titus finishes that tackle nicely.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of those collisions. I think we're going to need Titus to probably come up and clean a lot of things up. Good initial surge, though, they're out of the Titans. Having a little more success here establishing the run game.
Second and 4. Hetzel hands it to Chappelle again. Chappelle off the left side is going to pick up the first down with a 6-yard gain. Just good, hard downhill running. One cut and go is pretty much what he's been on these last couple plays.
Pretty similar plays there. You kind of wonder if maybe they found a little something.
Looks like we have an issue with our flag over there. I don't know who that chain crew is. We used to have one of the better ones in the States,
I
but
think
something
we've got
happened.
some shady characters over there now.
All right, so first and 10 at the 29.
I heard one's on vacation, so maybe that's our issue. New guy doesn't know what to do.
Hetzel takes the snap, hands it to Chappelle again to the right side this time, breaks the tackle, gets about 8 on the play. Again, Titus and McDonald on the tackle.
That time they pull Rutledge from the left tackle position, and when he gets a head of steam going, I think he maybe cleaned up Vanderlinden in here a little bit. But it doesn't look like there's much there, but he's doing a nice job of finding that seam.
Well, and like you said, he's not going down easy, so an arm tackle isn't going to get him. Hetzel looking to pass this time. Batney's got the pressure. He steps up, gets the pass off. I think that's to Chappelle, who's going to dive forward.
Yeah, pretty good job out of Hetzel to avoid the sack.
Yeah,
because that would have put them in third and long. They were in second and short. You definitely don't want to take a sack there, and does a nice job of getting rid of the football and actually completing the pass and just a hair short here.
to number 22, Chance Chappelle.
So going to be third and short. I wouldn't be surprised if Chappelle's coming right up the gut on this one. And there's a timeout, Blue Jays. They're first.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if Coach Fonts maybe realized that the Titans are onto something here and maybe wants to make a little tweak to what they're doing on defense. The other thing we got to be aware of, they're really starting to establish the tailback. At one point in time here, the quarterback is going to pull it.
Right.
So whoever's responsibility that is, you can't get sucked in because they're having success up the middle. You got to stay true to your responsibility and be ready for that quarterback to keep it.
Yeah, Hetzel's definitely got some running abilities. 15 rushes on the year for 71 yards.
He doesn't run it a ton, but he does take advantage of those opportunities that
just enough to keep you honest.
Teams maybe cheat or get undisciplined a little bit. And I would think for sure that this is four-down territory here for the Titans.
Yeah, I would think you're not going to be settling for field goals too often tonight.
I don't think that's gonna help tonight.
It's definitely not going to be the go-to option. So third and, boy, is that even 6 inches? I don't know. But
yeah, it can't be much.
Heavy formation. Chappelle up the middle. Gets past the first guy.
Short.
It's going to be close.
He's short.
We're walking in right on the line, which would be short.
Yep. It amazes me.
Chappelle's down.
It amazes me still. The teams just don't get under center here.
I don't know. He slid his helmet off. That doesn't look good.
Nope. Probably going to see. What's that?
Yeah. He's holding his knee right away. That's not a great sign. I don't know if Parker Ernst was holding his head because he didn't like what he saw. But so it's going to bring up a 4th and 1 after that, as the really solid drive from the Titans comes to a little bit of a standstill here. 4 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in the first. Good opportunity, I suppose, for us to talk about our sponsor of the night, the Bondurant Men's Club, sponsoring this broadcast along with plenty of others along the way. Just a great organization here in town. You might know them from Summerfest with all the rides and all of that stuff, but there's a whole lot of other things they do. They bring Santa, the Easter Bunny, Austin Sullivan. I think he falls right in line with the Easter Bunny and Santa, right?
He would be good in either one, I think.
So a lot of great things, but we really appreciate the men's club's not just sponsorship of our broadcast, but also all of the great things they do in our community. Just a rock star organization, so thank you.
Yeah, really have helped out a lot of youth teams and other organizations. Basically, you go ask, they usually help out if they can.
Yep, so the note says they have donated over $22,000 to several organizations, including youth football. So I think that's one of the things you were talking about that they jumped it right in to help with when there was a need, along with Veterans Wreath Across America, Courtyard Estates, the Trailhead Adopt-A-Park, our Bondurant After Prom, Youth Fishing Derby, the Little League and Soccer Club here in town, along with youth football, and our broadcast here as well, and the Library Summer Reading Program. So if you aren't familiar with the Bondurant Men's Club, you can find a lot of their events on Facebook, or just find one of their members, because they have nothing but great things to talk about with that group. So,
well, that didn't look good. It looked like Chappelle was not putting any weight whatsoever on his leg as they took him off the field. So you really hate to see that. He's a tremendous football player and a key ingredient to the Titan squad. You just hope that it's nothing serious.
Yeah, hopefully it's more recoverable than what that initially came off as, because nobody wants to miss a football season or anything like that. But the play goes on. 4th and 1 here for the Titans. Hetzel in the backfield. Man in motion is Stessman. Patel gets the yard, runs right up the middle for it. Or Patlin, sorry, not Patel.
Yeah, it looks like they've found a little something on that weak side behind Rutledge. Just enough of a gap for their backs to get through. That one, 4th and 1, everybody's hanging out in the box, so there's not a lot of wiggle room.
Brody Patlin comes into the game. He's got 16 carries on 185 yards, 11 yards a carry, So definitely a playmaker.
He's a little bit different. I think he's a little bit faster, a little bit more explosive. Maybe not as good as at breaking tackles.
Hetzel deep ball, and Maker's in the end zone, and I think he toe touched it, and he did. That's going to be a touchdown. Lual Maker from 18 yards out.
Corner just kind of stopped moving his feet there in a really nice throw out of Hetzel, and you just kind of got to get it in the area for him.
Yeah.
Being 6'7" target.
But a good job by Hetzel from staying in the pocket because Batney was coming down on him and just put it right at the back of the end zone. 2 feet farther, and that ball's out of bounds. But here we go with the extra point. Espinoza in there. Snap down. Ooh, snap bobbled.
Not intentional there.
Throws it up, and it's picked off.
Another weird rule. You can't
advance that
in high school football for some reason.
So smart of Falscraft to just get down and not take an unnecessary. It was Falscraft to not take an unnecessary hit.
So not so special again here. Ties it up at 6.
Well, special teams are still something right now.
Well, they even out. So ultimately it. Not going to be a deciding factor when it's a draw like that. They both have failed attempts. You hate to see it because it is pretty simple.
Yeah.
Snap, hold, kick.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say you'd like to just see more practice at it because that makes it sound more simple than it is, but maybe it is more simple than I'm making it to. I was not the kicker.
No, I had to hold a little bit, which, there is a little pressure there. You get that bad snap, you got
to make something out of it.
Got to get it down.
So 3:19 remaining in the first. Blue Jays looking to receive.
Looks like Espinoza's kicking off here for the Titans.
He was pointing the wrong direction.
We have a little bit of an interesting formation here out of the kickoff, it looks like.
I think they're just huddling Patrick.
I thought they looked like they were waiting I thought he had his hand up. Sorry, I'm multitasking. Shocking, I know.
It does look by their formation they're going to try to kick this ball to the left. Try to keep everything funneled down the left side, their left side.
Hayworth and Guthrie, the deep return men. That ball is going to be fielded at the 3 by Blake Guthrie. Guthrie has a little bit of a lane. Tuck that ball in, son, and you're going to be down at the 27.
Definitely take that.
And there's a flag on the high side.
Boy, he threw that puppy from a long ways away.
And nowhere near where the ball was, so
There's a flag on the field.
It's going to be holding against the Blue Jays.
Oh, yeah, I see it there on the replay. It was a definite block in the back. That one was about as obvious, maybe even worse than
the other one?
Yeah, than the other one to start the game. It was about an even matchup.
So special teams continuing to not be all that special.
Nope. And sometimes you just got to get out of your own way and limit those types of things. And obviously our offense is capable of going 90 yards here, but that's a difference of 15, 20 yards.
Yep. So we're going Cram Wildcat again. Fake right, go left. Going to just stay right in the middle. And looks like he's crowd surfing now.
Yeah, they had him a couple feet up in the air. Good thing he did not get slammed to the ground.
It is hard to break the tackle if your feet are foot off the ground.
Well, the other thing with the Titans having some pretty big dudes in there, you run them, if you can get them going side to side, you can wear them down, and that might be a little bit of our game plan. They do tend to sub a decent amount of guys, though, I think, on the defensive line. So we'll probably see a lot of fresh bodies.
Falscraft near side, Ryle in the backfield, Cole Miller, the receiver, on the high side. Play action. Ryle
wide open.
Has Miller across the middle, and he makes the catch at the 29-yard line. Nice play there.
And I think that was kind of an interesting approach. They were going to double Falscraft, which, if you look at our catch totals, makes total sense.
Right.
And basically left Miller wide open running across the field. Linebacker probably should have picked him up, or that linebacker in the flat probably needs to get a little bit deeper, but nobody ran with him at all.
Which I understand how that would happen, right?
Yep.
You got to you got to give, respect to the top receivers
Again,
over the top.
A good play out of Ryle, though, to read his keys.
Yep, not force it. Cram taking it. Wildcat to the right side, breaks through a couple tackles, and he's going to keep spinning forward, and he's going to get brought down at the 41 for a gain of 12.
I thought for a moment there they had a hold of the football and that thing was coming out, but he does a nice job of securing it and really having a nice run there again. Just good blocking up front.
It does look like the rain sprinkled whatever has stopped temporarily at least. First down at the 41 for the Blue Jays. Falsgraf and Moore to the near side, Ryle to the high side. Cram backfield Wildcat going to the left again right away. There's going to be a flag on that play.
I think we got an illegal formation. Oh, they call him down there.
There's a flag on the field.
Ball must have came out. Lewis Central thought they had possession. See if we can get a look on replay. Yeah, ball does come out. That was close.
A sideline warning.
Got a sideline warning. Okay. We'll take that. So
the
no effect
gain
on
of
the
6
play.
stays.
Yep. No effect. Doesn't change anything. The next one is going to be a penalty on him, though.
What's your speculation? What are they trying to chew on the official about already?
What are you not? I mean, you're trying to get everything. So whatever you can. Almost always, if there's a run play, there's a hold. You're always asking for that.
Falsgraf and Cram to the near side. Caleb Moore in the backfield behind Ryle. And he's going to roll out to the right. Moore picks up the backside pressure. Ryle throws it deep to Cram. It's going to be out of bounds, incomplete.
Pretty well defended there out of the Titans. And we mentioned in pregame, you get those two guys on the same side. That's pretty tough, and they did a nice job of rolling their coverage. Safety over the top. Corner's able to drop with that little fade stop that Falsgraf runs. So pretty well defended. Really no place to go.
No. Great blitz pickup, though, by Moore on the backside to prevent his quarterback from getting grilled from behind.
In the success you've had running, I think second in short, you go ahead and take a shot there.
Yeah.
You just don't make a turnover, which Ryle's been pretty good at this year of avoiding.
Yep.
It's a little heavy formation here.
3rd and 4, and defense jumps, and that's going to go ahead and give us a first down.
I think I saw that at least 4 or 5 times in the freshman game.
It was a lot.
So that might be something Lewis Central needs to work on. If a little discipline, not jumping off sides on 3rd and short.
5-yard penalty, 1st and 10 Blue Jays.
But good execution out of the Blue Jays.
I do like it on 3rd down instead of waiting for 4th. It gives you a little bit of a more to go with on, I think. 48-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. Falsgraf coming near side. Cram behind Ryle.
Little press coverage here.
Yeah. And Cram takes it up the middle, has a gap to the right side, cuts outside, and rolls forward for a first down. Nope, they're going to give it to him a gain of 9.
Well, this is fairly similar to what we saw last week with ADM and Lewis Central. Overall, they struggled to stop the run game, gave up, I don't know what it was, probably 300-some yards rushing against ADM.
Well, I think Flora had like almost 350, so 320 at least.
So probably 400.
Falsgraf near side, same formation. Cram up the middle. Has a gap on the right side, that same hole. He steeps his feet. He's going to be brought down at the 31-yard line for a first down on a gain of 8.
So, yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to offer much resistance here up the middle.
I mean, it really, I wouldn't even call it a one cut. He's just running right through the hole until he hits second level.
Yeah, and it's been a pretty good size hole.
Caleb Moore in the backfield now. Cram going to get a little bit of a break. Now Moore going to run the same play. He's at the 20, and he's going to get brought down at the 14. Caleb Moore with a nice run.
And it seems like about every play there's 4 or 5 Lewis Central guys getting up off the ground that aren't involved in the tackle.
He's going to get down at the 9, so a gain of 22 by Caleb Moore.
Going quick here, see if they can't get one more play. You got hands on your hips. I think get this snap off in it.
Same play, backside pressure, though. That was number 15, Caleb Moore, tackling Caleb Moore.
Yeah, I think he had enough.
yard on the
tried
play.
a little something different there.
End of the first quarter. Bondurant 6, Lewis Central 6.
Pretty
All right, as we get ready to start this second quarter here in Bondurant. Blue Jays looking to score here, 2nd and 8, moving over to the north end zone.
I think pretty much what we expected in that first quarter. Both teams having some success offensively. Titans punting 3 and out on their first one, but otherwise they drove down and scored, and Blue Jays scored on their first one and are knocking on the door here for their second drive of the night.
We'll see how we'll get to the Titans when they're back on offense. We'll focus on our offense right here. Cram behind Ryle. Falsgraf to the high side. 2 fullback set. Turn gives it to Cram. Not a lot of room. He's going to fall forward for maybe 2 yards.
Yeah, they finally made a little bit of a pile. And at some point, you always get to the D-line coach when they can't figure anything out. They just go to cut into the offensive lineman, and I don't know if they're there just yet. But that's the first time they've really kind of offered some resistance up the middle.
So 3rd and 6, same formation, 2 fullback set.
Could see a little play action here maybe.
Little high side fade, 1-on-1. Yep. He did not catch it.
Up here, I know it's really far. It looked like he caught it, and that was a heck of a throw out of Ryle, but must have just been out of his reach. So now you figure out.
I think there was a good defensive play there to get his hand in the way as well. I think that was Juwan.
If it was a catch, I mean, it was just a great throw because he did have really good coverage.
Yep. Juwan gets the little sword back in the sheath celebration.
Well, it looks like we are going to kick it. We know we can make it. We just got to get it down and kick it through.
So this will be probably 23-yard attempt.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
If we snap it, we did.
That was close. Looks good.
Distance, and it's good. That's a field goal for Reed Falsgraf. And the Blue Jays take a 9-6 lead.
Well, we talked about field goals won't win this thing. We'll see, I guess. I wonder if maybe looking back on it, maybe we don't try running on 3rd down and see where that gets us. But easy to second guess.
Right.
Had a pretty decent shot there with Reed in the end zone.
And overall, you feel really good about throwing Reed in the end zone. So
yeah, and I think you feel really good at the fact that you're going to be able to continue to run the football. I have not seen anything that's going to indicate that
overall slowing it down.
You're going to stop the run.
Because if they do really commit to that, then we'll start looking at passing. I mean, we've made 4 pass attempts.
I don't know if they can commit much more. They really are kind of playing man-to-man out there with Reed all by himself and putting 8 or 9 guys in the box, and it's not enough.
So Ortega and Patlin, the deep receivers. So this is where it'll get a little bit interesting for the Titans, is to see what their other option at running back is, because I don't think you're going to see Chappelle again, so you're going to see Brody Patlin and somebody, I imagine, because I don't think he's going to be taking the entire load.
Yeah, it looks like Camden Cross has got some carries.
But I don't think he had any in the last game, so I don't know if he was injured or what the situation is
there. Well, the thing about him is they haven't had any mop-up time, so any of his carries have been legitimate carries.
Yeah. Patlin with a nice return out to the 30. Yeah, we'll look and see if number 2's out there. That'd be Camden Cross.
Because they do tend to rotate a little bit.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't think that they would just go one person.
No. And it's not a real great expectation to expect one running back to be able to go in there and just handle the load. We're going 4 wide here, though. And then hand it off to Patlin. Patlin up the middle. Not going to get very much. Good defense by the Blue Jays. Looked like Moore and Vanderlinden getting off the pile.
Kind of hard to run the football when you got 8 guys in the box against a spread formation.
Gain of a yard on the play. I think Ernst was actually the first one to that tackle, but he ended up on the bottom of the pile, so I had to wait for him to uncover.
Looked like a nice blitz out of Dylan Hayworth, kind of piled up the offensive lineman Poland.
2nd and 9 for the Titans.
Tight end and 2 receivers to the high side. Luol Maker by himself on the near side, and they're looking that way. Throwing deep, and Maker just out of his reach. Falsgraf timed his contact well. It's going to be an incomplete pass.
He kind of short-armed that a little bit. I think if he reaches, he maybe has a shot at it.
It was going to be a tough over-the-shoulder catch but yeah.
Pretty nice throw again out of Hetzel. But they're in a position they really don't want to be in, 3rd and 9.
I mean, I'm not surprised Hetzel can sling it. He's a pretty elite pitcher in baseball. So
he's good.
Tight end to the high side, so we got 2 receivers each direction. Play action. Hetzel looking up the middle and has Ortega. Ortega's going to get the first down and going to be brought down at the 44.
And that was the thing I kind of wondered coming in. Can he make these types of throws?
Yeah.
I've seen him make the deep throw really well. Is he going to be able to hit these intermediate passes? And so far he's made a couple pretty good ones.
Yep.
Right
that
there,
was a good read. Yeah. Nice ball.
He threw a fastball right in there.
Receiver in motion is Stessman. Now going to hand it to Patlin up the middle and nowhere to go.
And I mentioned that you got to stay home on the quarterback, and watching that play right there, Batney was responsible for the quarterback, and he was sitting there waiting. So
Cole Miller was the low guy, Baker with the high.
As a coach, you're not calling that keep unless you see it open. So nice job out of Batney to stay disciplined there.
Going to be 2nd and 11. Stessman in motion again. Play action, rolling to the right. Gets it to Stessman, and Cram cleans up the tackle. Gain of 4, maybe 3 on the play.
That's a great job out of Titus. I know that's the type of play college coaches are looking for, that are trying to recruit him, seeing him fly down from the safety position and really not allow a guy to go anywhere and make an open field tackle.
Good pressure by Parker Ernst on that to prevent Hetzel from continuing to move. 3rd and 8.
Little soft coverage up top, maybe a hitch.
Hetzel looking to the right, throws it in the middle, finds Stessman. Stessman makes the first man miss, and he's up the middle for about another 10 to 15. Going to be brought down at the 25, 26. Gain of 20 on the play. Parker Stessman.
Good job out of Hetzel to kind of give himself a little bit more time. Rolls out of the pocket and makes that tough throw, rolling to your right, across your body, back to the middle.
Yeah, arm strength does not seem to be a concern on that one.
Not at all.
Handoff, Patlin up the middle, still nowhere to go. Moore and Vanderlinden are going to bring him down for a yard.
You know, ultimately, and we've talked about this before, they don't have enough guys to block the guys that we the amount of guys that we have in the box, but you kind of have to make that decision of, hey, are we just going to throw it every single play? Or are we going to try to run the ball just a little bit to keep them honest? You just can only live with so many 3rd and longs.
So they got tight end moving to the left side. Hetzel takes the shotgun snap, looking to the end zone. Nope, sorry. I thought he was going for Maker, but that is not Maker. I think that's Stessman again.
That was 8.
Oh, Owen Thomas.
Yep, which we've really seen him as a blocker so far this first 3 weeks. He's a nice-looking athlete as well.
Leading tackler for their defense, but at this time he's going to step in and get the touchdown.
He's a dude. He's in about half the time on offense, plays that H-back tight end position.
So Titans put one in. It's 7:46 remaining in the second. Espinoza is looking for the extra point. Snap back down, up, and
wasn't
good.
pretty, but it got in there.
So that's going to give the Titans a 13-9 lead. If you were looking for obscure scores, that's probably on your list.
I told you at the beginning, we both said the 28-35, 28-21, but I said it wasn't going to be. It'll be something close to that. It was not going to be
traditional.
But it wasn't going to be pretty. It was going to be some ugly numbers in there. Really nice drive there out of the Titans. A couple third and longs that Hetzel converted. Real tough throws. Going to have to find a way to get home to the court. Get to him, I think. Past few games, we kind of let Batney run wild, and he's gotten there, and their tackles seem to be up to the task a little bit more than the first three opponents.
Well, and when you switch back to defense now, I mean, you've got the run game shut down, really, but at the expense maybe of your pass coverage, so we'll see what type of adjustments our defense is looking to make here as they go back out. But right now, the Blue Jays are going to be returning the kick. This time, Hayworth to the right and Guthrie to the left, so they're flipping sides. Not sure if there's anything to make of that.
Had a nice return last time. Well, again, they're gonna kick this ball to the left. Put on the left hash. You'll kind of see that their formation, for the most part, you do have to have at least four
on each side.
Yep, at least four on each side of the kicker. Normally, you'd see guys all the way across the field, but they're past the numbers here. It's nice you have a kicker that, one, can kick in the end zone, and two, is good enough at aiming.
That you're not worried about it going out of bounds?
Well, you're not worried about, hey, he might kick it in the middle or shank it to the right.
Yeah, real nice kick there from Espinoza into the end zone. The Blue Jays will get it first down at the 20.
Yeah, first deficit of the night. First time they've had to come out here and respond to kind of getting punched in the mouth a little bit. We got some pretty good haymakers going on tonight.
Yeah.
I would think that you're going to continue to see the Blue Jays
run heavy,
run a lot of Wildcat, and continue to get downhill.
But we start with Caleb Moore in the backfield.
Yep, which is
A-OK.
Yep, totally good.
Not even play action, just straight drop back. And pass to Cram, right on the money. Cram's going to work ahead for another 10 yards and brought down out of bounds.
Well, Camden Cross we might not see him at running back because he's got the club.
There you go.
I'm guessing that's probably a reason why we won't. Not exactly easy to secure the football. Always restricted to the right hand.
25-yard completion there from Ryle to Cram.
Well, we're seeing some strikes tonight.
Yeah.
Because that was not an easy throw. He was.
Well, for a second, I thought it was going over. I thought it was clearing Titus, and he wasn't going to make the catch. Well,
I would say he was covered up pretty well.
Yeah. Look at that great action shot replay by Blue Jay Digital. Those students doing a great job down there. Cram takes the Wildcat.
Good cut.
Good hesitation, and then drives forward for the first down. Going to be a gain of, looks like, right at 11.
The last couple of years, the teams that have had success against this Wildcat, I would say have got a couple D linemen that have almost been unblockable for us. And I think that's kind of the issue right now for Lewis Central is their front four guys are really kind of getting driven back or not getting any kind of push.
Yeah. Ryle and Miller to the high side. Moore in the backfield in the Wildcat this time. He's going to run the same play, wait for it to develop, and then he breaks free. He's at the 25 and going to be out of bounds at about the 22. Great little burst of speed there from Caleb Moore.
Well, we've been saying it over and over. This is just tremendous blocking.
Yep. And good patience by Caleb to let that hole develop. You know, we often talk about Caleb being more of the I'm going straight ahead, one cut at most, and I'm going. But he did a nice job of being patient, letting the hole create, and then exploding through on that one.
Looks like we got Sawyer Minor running out on the field. Wonder if I didn't see if he was replacing a lineman, or maybe we're just going with an extra lineman.
Handoff Moore, right side, cuts back to the middle. He's still going, rolls through, and he's going to be brought down at the 9-yard line, 8-yard line for a gain of 15 from Caleb Moore.
Yeah, we're not really missing a beat. Him coming in there at running back. Guys are still just blocking their tail off.
Well, and how key is that to be able to give Cram a break here and just push it downfield, because that way you have Titus available for defense, that pass coverage assist.
We must have been going a little unbalanced line there, or an extra lineman, because Sawyer came out and we stuck another skill guy in there.
So now we're going 2 receivers to the right, Falsgraf left. Caleb Moore again, just following those blockers. Not a lot of room that time. Only gains maybe a yard.
I think that was the freshman there making a play. I think that was
Kyler McNeil.
Yep, I think so.
Number 2, Caleb Moore. Brought down the play by number 78.
I think we're going to see Titus go back in here.
So we're going to have 2nd and goal from the 6. Not a lot of urgency out of the Blue Jays here, but I'm not sure. I would probably try to score relatively fast here because I don't think time is going to be an issue on the other direction. And is that going to be a timeout?
Yeah,
Blue
we were
Jays?
kind of running short on time here.
So that's our 2nd timeout.
Well, once again, the Jays drive the ball down the field pretty easily.
Yeah. So this is where it got a little tough last time, as they really committed to stopping that run and were able to manage it.
They had one stop. I think it discouraged us a little bit. I hope Coach just says, you know what, we're running the next 3 plays. And
that's what I was going to ask. Are you just still pounding ahead?
I think so. At least
no hesitation.
I am the next 2, and let's see where that puts us. One play isn't going to deter me because there's about 20 other ones that have said, hey, we can run this football.
So we got 2nd and goal from the 6. Like you said, I'm pretty sure Titus is back in there on this.
And the other option, we really haven't pulled out a whole lot. I think there is a point in time here where Ryle can pull the football.
Yeah.
And there isn't going to be anybody home.
No. The other thing we haven't seen yet tonight, not saying I'm asking for it, but we haven't seen it, is the jet sweep to try and get somebody to the outside as opposed to right now we've been running between the tackles.
Yep, a lot of success there. And this isn't this has kind of been that formation where we just run it right up the pipe.
Titus takes it up the middle. He's going to push forward. Looks like he got 2 maybe on that play.
Yeah, about the 4-yard line. So
going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 4.
Yep, a little bit different. Last time I think it was 3rd or 6th, 3rd or 7. Yeah. So I think Coach is still probably feeling pretty confident of running the football here.
I wouldn't mind that old-fashioned pitch play we like, or used to like at least.
We've definitely kind of put that one on the shot. Haven't ran it nearly as much. So, yeah, I mean, at some point in time, it should be wide open, I think.
And we're going to use Ryle as the lead block. Cram cuts up the middle. Nowhere to go, though. I think that was I think they're going to give him the 3.
So, yeah, now it does get interesting. You were really liking to be
4th and 3.
You'd really like to be inside the 2-yard line. I still think you're going for it here.
Yeah.
If you don't get it, they're inside the 5-yard line.
Right.
And
with a little bit of ability to rush a passer. So, yeah, I think you're going for it.
And they haven't had much success running the football. I wonder if we're going to use another timeout here. We're not
in any hurry to make a play call.
No. And that's fine. I think this is a crucial one.
Yeah. So we're going to let it run down to 1 second and take our timeout. With 4:22 remaining in the first half, that is our 3rd timeout.
Timeout on the field, Blue Jays.
Yeah, I'm not for sure what you look at here. Obviously, you'd like to see Titus with the ball, but then again, maybe he's the decoy on your jet sweep, and Caleb Moore rushes the football.
Yeah.
They've both had a lot of success. I think it's got to be one of those two.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to take a chance throwing the football. You just haven't thrown it a ton.
Right. It's an unfair expectation to think, you're on point right here from that, when you're throwing 25 yards, you got a little space to make a mistake, whereas it's got to be on the dime.
Yeah, this is one or done. And is it, hey, we're gonna line up in our double tight formation with 2 H-backs and try to run it down your throat, or is it a little bit more of spread you out? We've had success with both.
We've struggled with the double tight inside the 10.
I think maybe you would spread them out here a little bit, but I think looking at the bodies running out on the field, this is going to be more of a heavy type of situation.
This is the 2 fullback. I think House is back there at fullback.
We got McDonald
at tight end.
Yep.
Because I think Minor's on the line right now. So you got House in the backfield with Dylan.
You got
and you're going to get timeout from Lewis Central.
So they're running jet sweep there with Ryle. I wonder if it was going to be some sort of fake, maybe a little jump pass. We have seen him throw it down
Yeah.
here. That's always a possibility, and I'm sure that Lewis Central is selling out on the run here.
Falsgraf was the high receiver. Ryle coming in motion from right to left, and everybody else was clearly blocking.
Yeah,
I mean,
they've really left Juwan one-on-one with him.
Yep.
And I think they have to. I don't think they have another option.
Yeah.
So maybe down the road, I think that might be something we look at. But right now, yeah, it's probably going to be Titus.
Yeah. I mean, what I'd like to see next time we're in that situation, maybe do that on first
Yeah,
down.
first down, throw a little jump ball. Or maybe just keep doing what we're doing and have success running the football. Easier said than done, though. Okay, it looks like Miner came out. Hayworth came out. Moore's back in the game.
And Vanderlinden's in there this time.
Yeah, I think you are going to see a little bit more of a spread formation, maybe a couple wide receivers.
Let's see. Falsgraf coming near side. Moore and Ryle going high side. And Cram and the Wildcat.
Man, I don't even know if I guard Moore. I think I just.
And we're going to give it to Cram right up the middle, and he's going to be into the end zone for a Blue Jay touchdown from 4 yards out, or 2 yards out.
I like that call more than I think where we were going to go the first one.
Yeah.
Just because it took a few extra bodies out of the box.
One thing that's definitely a little bit different, we're seeing Ryle run out there in the Wildcat. We saw that in previous years with Collison. We never threw it to Collison, whereas Ryle was a receiver last year, so I don't know that we're going to throw it to him, but there's definitely the fact that he was a receiver last year.
And jet sweep was not an option with him, whereas you could run that with Jordan.
Kick is up.
That looks good.
Kick is good. The kick is good. Blue Jays take a 16-13 lead with 4:17 remaining in the second.
So another nice response. It's really, after that first drive, it's been back and forth. Each team's went down and scored. A lot of success for the Blue Jays on the ground, which I kind of said I thought that was going to be a difference maker. Can Lewis Central keep up the passing game the entire game? I don't know. I think you're less likely to do that than the run game. But Hetzel's pretty darn good.
I'd be tempted to put a little less pressure in the box and make that backup running back, or even if he's the 1A running back, make him prove it and make them get to whoever that next option is.
Yep.
I'll let him run 7-8 times in a row and see if they're still handing it to him. Although the freshman running back they had that game, he was a massive young man.
Yeah, he's a nice player. Probably might see him on a Friday night again next year.
Yeah. Although both of their top two running backs were juniors, so he might get plugged up. There's that flag.
Well, yeah, they got us that time, and it was, I don't know if the whistle threw Titus off, but he kicked it out of bounds. So
benefit us on that one.
Yeah. And we were so offsides the one before. I think he maybe just felt like, hey, I got to throw a flag here, whether we were offsides or not. I don't know.
So that'll move us back 5 yards and get another opportunity.
You hate to see that because he's so good at kicking touchbacks.
There's no reason for that.
Now, with 5 more yards, he can still kick a touchback, but it becomes less likely. And they do have a dude or two back there that is explosive.
Patlin's got some wheels.
Yeah, he can run.
Ortega's no slouch. They're averaging 18 and 22 per kick return.
There we go.
That's a nice solid
He's got
boot.
A shot there.
Gonna be just shy of the end zone after the 5-yard delay. So Ortega comes out. He's still on his feet, and he's going to be brought down out of bounds at the 33.
Yeah, so theoretically that penalty maybe cost you 15 yards.
Yep.
You just got to be a little bit more disciplined. Don't be offsides on that.
So 4:09 remaining in the first half. Blue Jays will get the ball in the second half, but a stop here would be huge to give you some momentum.
Yeah, I think there is a little pressure on Lewis Central here to go score because, like we've said multiple times, they haven't really shown that they're going to stop us.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be chasing a 2-score game here. And really you don't want to go 3 and out because we might go score again.
Miller coming on late. I don't love that fact pattern. A little pressure on the quarterback throw, not a bounds.
He dropped it, but, man, he had it initially.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I thought it was out of bounds for sure, and then I realized, oh yeah, Maker is 6'7", so
he was
he
in,
just
and it
keeps
looked
going.
like he had it. And I think when he hit the ground, he lost control of it. Yeah, we probably got lucky there, not having 11 dudes out on the field to start.
Carlisle is up 7-0 on Indianola.
That's probably a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Carlisle's not been great this year. I think they're 0-3, aren't they?
Yep. Comets up 14-0 on Humboldt. Hetzel throws quick to Maker. Going to spin out of bounds. Gets the first down, though, gain of 11.
And I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen a little bit more of that. We are playing a little bit of soft coverage because they are such a deep threat. We're almost 10 yards off the ball. Just get that snap and sling it. Running dudes on late here again. Looks like we're going to get it figured out.
It's a heavy rush formation stop, and they're going for a pass. Hetzel rolls out, has pressure coming from behind. Good maneuvering by Hetzel, still looking downfield, and gets the ball off. In and out of the hands of Thomas. What a great mobility from Hetzel. Geez.
He's been good this year, but I haven't seen a play like that. That was high-level stuff right there, and his guy should have caught the football.
Yeah.
Man, he put it right on him.
He did. When he first let it go, I couldn't tell if it was going to the outside guy or inside guy, and it turns out he split the defenders perfectly.
A little high, but, I mean.
Very catchable.
I got a feeling Ortega brings that down more often than not.
So Whitty, the near receiver this time. Maker, the high side. Hetzel looking to the high side. Now rolling back this way. And he lets the ball go, and it's picked off. Titus Cram has the interception. He's at the 50. He's still going.
He's going.
He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. Parker Ernst with the block, and Cram is going to be into the end zone for a Blue Jay touchdown. Titus Cram interception return.
And that's the risky run sometimes. You try to get maybe a little bit greedy rolling out and making that throw. And it wasn't a bad throw. I mean, it was just right over.
I think Cram just made he ripped it right out of the receiver's
right
hands.
over
it looked
Thomas's hands. And I knew once he got that and was going forward with his momentum, that was going to be a problem.
Good job by the lead blockers not getting a penalty on that.
Yeah, I thought Luau Maker was
going to make the play.
Man, he ran through one of our guys. Looks like we're missing
the block.
Block, ball. I don't know.
Oh, ball?
Maybe a ball?
I don't know. Yeah, Titus just ripped that thing right over his hand. Just mossed him. Perfect. All right, I'm surprised that you don't start the clock for that. For waiting for equipment to come in.
Yeah, I mean, you are responsible for your own football.
Yeah.
So I would think that, and it might even be coaches' kids that was, I don't know. I don't know who was supposed to be responsible.
Kick up and good. And the Blue Jays take a 23-13 lead off the Titus Cram interception return, his third touchdown of the game.
Yeah, that really puts Lewis Central in a bind here. You're going to have to be aggressive and go score here, I think. Down 10 and kicking off.
Yeah, and not going to have the ball in the second. Yep.
So it might be another situation here where Jays can kind of pin the ears back a little bit and go after the quarterback, knowing that they're probably going to have to throw the football.
Well, we said there'd be scoring. We got 36 already in the first half, so we didn't lie to you. Titus going to kick off again. Hopefully we'll stay on sides.
He might take a knee just to get a little rest.
Just precision placing the ball on the block, yeah. Or on the tee out here, I guess, not the block. Cram kick up. Line drive is going to be short of the end zone. Patlin takes it at the 2. Has a path this way. And Miller comes up and makes the tackle. Cole Miller brings him down at the 23.
I thought initially he had a little bit of a lane there, but Blue Jays do a nice job of closing that thing down.
Vanderlinden slowed him down, and Miller cleaned it up. And
yeah, you'll take the the other team starting on the 25.
Yeah. That's a long ways to go. 3:19 remaining. Lewis Central still has 2 timeouts.
Definitely big playability.
Yep. Maker and Stessman near side.
I just think they also might want to be careful here and not digging themselves an even bigger hole.
Patlin up the middle and nowhere to go. McDonald is there with a group of Blue Jays. Some would say a party of Blue Jays.
He did a nice job of turning a -2 run into 1, maybe 2 even.
Yeah, looks like he got 2 out of that.
Kept those legs a pumping.
One advantage Lewis Central does have here is with the Blue Jays not having timeouts, you feel a little less concerned about the time if you give it back.
Right.
But, you know, the alternative to that is we can score in a hurry.
Yep. And clock stopping when you get out of bounds or on first downs. There's ample time to score depending when you get it, I guess.
Hetzel looks for the screen to the high left side, makes the first man miss, and going to step out of bounds before taking the hit from Titus.
You don't see that out of Jordan very often.
No.
Being that wrestler, he's pretty good at the takedowns and just misses that one.
Be a gain of 18 on the play.
But Whitty is a pretty darn good receiver too.
Yeah.
So not easy to tackle in space like that.
Only the second time they've got him involved.
Yeah, I've said I think they can throw some quick hitches to him.
Yeah. Whitty going to come near side now. So you got Maker on the high side, man up. Again, anywhere you put Lual, you have a height advantage for sure. Hetzel looking downfield, eyes downfield the whole time, finds Whitty in the middle. Caleb Moore makes the tackle, gain of 8 on the play.
Whitty kind of got rolled up on a little bit there, but it looks like he's okay. Lost his towel.
It stopped raining. He's fine.
Yeah.
Right at the 2-minute marker here.
There's no mud on this field.
No, there's no mud on the field. Some little black pebbles. Patlin up the middle. I think he's short.
Think he's short.
Yep, and we're spotting him a yard short, gain of a yard. So brings up 3rd and 1. 1:45 on the clock. Still clicking away here.
Kind of a big play here. I mean, obviously you need to get this thing in order to keep your drive rolling. I would assume they would probably go for it if they're short.
Think so.
But they're kind of milking the clock here a little bit too in case they don't get it.
Right. Well, because with those 2 timeouts,
Yep,
and like you said, first downs, it stops.
They're
good. High snap. Gets the snap into his hands. Patlin fighting, but he's not going to get there. He's marked short of the first down. The high snap kind of set the whole thing off a little bit. And good job by the Blue Jays coming up to clean up. House and Cram both in there on the tackle.
Yeah, I would say that the high snap really kind of doomed them from the get-go. Quarterback had to jump up and get it, and then you're late with your timing, giving to the fullback. Nice tackle out of Moore and Titus to come in and clean it up.
So 27 coming in. That's Ty Paulson as another big body.
I think they might.
4th and inches. They're going to let it run all the way down and take a timeout.
I think they're going to roll with a timeout here.
It sure looks like it. 3 seconds left on the play clock, and that's going to be.
Did they even call a timeout? They take a delay?
Okay. That's odd, right? I mean, I know it moves you back 5 yards for the punt, but.
Man, I just feel like you're in a game that you got to score points. You haven't done anything to show that you're going to stop us, and you got a half a yard to go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's
Lewis Central is really good and very successful.
Right.
I shouldn't question him, but I think.
But I'm kind of questioning him.
Yeah, I am. I think you got to go for this.
Now, they did go for a fake punt 4 times, I think, in the freshman game. I don't think you're going to see the same thing here, but.
Well, they got 12 guys on the field, so
they're going to.
I don't.
That ball's going to roll dead right on the 15-yard line. I'm not sure why he was in a hurry to pick it up, let the clock keep going, but.
There is a penalty on the Jays. They had 12 guys on the field. I think we were a little uncertain on what to do.
But if you're going to punt that again, right? To waste more time?
I'm going for it. There's 22 seconds left.
Well,
throw a bomb.
Yeah, I can see that. Although I think we were both on the impression that you would have went for it previously on 4th and 1.
And now there's less risk because There's only 22 seconds.
They declined it. All right, so we're going to have Blue Jay ball. I would think you're taking a knee with 22 seconds left. I don't really know that, but I think if I'm up 23-13 right now, I'm very content, and I'm taking a knee.
For sure.
And we get the ball in the second half. That's
I
right. So as we look ahead to halftime, you're going to have our cheer squad, dance squad out there. Band is going to be back out there. So stay tuned for that. We'll have live feed for all of that. 22 seconds here. And we have victory formation here to lead us into halftime. I'm okay with that. I'll take a 23-13 lead here. And the ball. So solid first half by the Blue Jays, and we'll see what the second half adjustments make. But yeah, fun night.
You bet.
So
good first half for the Jays.
We'll step aside. You guys can enjoy the band and the cheer, and we'll be back for the second half. Go Blue Jays.
Bondurant Men's Club prides itself on providing family-focused fun events and making a positive impact on our community. Over the last year, we have donated over $22,000 to these organizations and programs. Breakfast with Santa, Easter egg hunt, Summerfest, Veterans Wreaths Across America, Courtyard Estates, Trailhead Adopt a Park, After Prom, Youth Fishing Derby, Little League, Soccer Club, Youth Football, High School Football Streaming, and the Library Summer Reading Program. In 2024, the tradition continues with our 50th year of bringing Summerfest to Bondurant. To find out more, you can visit the Bondurant Men's Club on Facebook.
Hello Blue Jays, I'm Garrett Monson.
And I'm Maddie Miller.
Welcome back to the ring.
On this episode,
The Bluejay players motion ball.
Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Hands in the crowd, we tearing it down. Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Hands in the crowd, we tearing it down. Get loud for me. Heart of a lion. Fire inside me blaze like a siren. Why would you try it? Wake up the beast, no, I can't keep silent. I put my time in. Now it's my time, your time is expiring. Blood, sweat, and tears, I cock up my fears. I'm ready to fly now. We know they scared of us. No, they don't care for us. They wasn't there for us. Up in them trenches, hopping them fences, making the plays while they riding the benches. Yeah, I cool intentions. Yeah, I see my rolling get colder than sand. But when counting our sins, I don't have no friends. I came here to win. My start is your end. Don't let it begin now. Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Hands in the crowd, we tearing it down. Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Get loud for me. Hands in the crowd, we tearing it down. Get loud for me.
All right, welcome back, Blue Jay fans, to the second half of action here in Bondurant between the visiting Central Titans and your Bondurant Ferrara Blue Jays. Blue Jays have a 23-13 lead, and we'll get the ball to start the second half. A little bit of stats here for you, starting with the Blue Jays. 150 yards rushing for the Blue Jays, 17 carries, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Titus Cram, 4 carries, 60 yards for Caleb Moore. Jordan Ryle, 3 for 5. 51 yards passing. Those completions to Falsgraf for 14, Cram for 25, and Cole Miller for 12. Turning over to the Titans, Brady Hetzel, 10 of 16, 133 yards and 1 touchdown passing. And rushing, you have Chance Chappelle with 7 carries for 32 yards. He'll be done for the game, though. And Brody Patlin came in, and he had 7 carries for 9 yards. Those completions for the Titans, 3 for 40 yards to Curtis Whitty, 1 for 14 to Ryan Ortega, 2 for 29 yards and a touchdown to Lou Allmaker, 2 for 23 yards to Stessman, and 1 25-yard touchdown to Owen Thomas. Blue Jays get the ball here.
Pretty good balance thrown around there
Yeah.
for Lewis Central, but I think the key, like I said at the beginning of the game, was pounding the rock, and right now the Jays are doing it.
That ball is up. Talon Hayworth with the catch at 5, and he's trying to get to the outside and has the lane, and you're not going to catch him. He's got the kicker to beat. He's got the angle. He's trying
Don't hit him. Don't hit him.
Oh, I lied. You caught him at the 10-yard line. Talon Hayworth, 85-yard return. It was the footsteps on the sideline that caught him.
Well, and that's I talked about they love kicking it to the left side, so all your coverage is running that direction. The problem is if they get it back to the right,
there's nobody left.
There's not a lot of people over there, and they were able to do that.
Espinoza saved a touchdown for sure.
And Cole Miller did a nice job. He really wanted to throw a block, but it was going to be a block in the back, and he held off.
And it wasn't going to help because that wasn't the guy making the tackle anyway. But Blue Jays start out here with an exciting time in the second half. Going to be 1st and goal at the 10. Titus in the Wildcat, Ryle and Moore to the left, Falsgraf to the right. Stop me if you've heard that before. We saw that quite a bit in the first half. Cram going to go up the middle. Not a lot of room there. Caleb Moore on the tackle, going to be a gain of a yard.
We've seen them do that a couple times, not very consistently. Pretty good job of plugging that middle up and making Titus go side to side where guys can maybe get to the party a little bit more and kind of corral him and not allow him to get going downhill.
You taking your shot to the end zone here with Falsgraf in the corner?
Man, it's tough. You kind of want to come out and establish dominance in the second half. They're going to stick with that Wildcat. Could still throw it.
I'd put Caleb Moore in motion then if you can do that. It looked like both receivers over here jumped. There is a flag. I'm not sure if it's the hold, though, in the middle.
Yeah,
Graham pushing ahead to the 1, maybe 2-yard line, but I think it's coming back.
Got a legal shift. Definitely going to take that penalty. Put it at 2nd and 15. Now you're probably looking at maybe throwing the football.
I don't know. The idea of Caleb Moore being a lead block off the jet sweep doesn't sound all that bad either.
I'm guessing they probably got that thing in. He was the guy off the line of scrimmage, so if a guy were to go in motion, it would be him.
So that's going to bring us back, lose the gain and bring us back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and goal at the 14. Definitely a more stereotypical passing down, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you don't want to settle for a field goal after that opening kickoff return. So I'm sure they're going to try to get this thing. I got to think they're throwing it, but you never know. Caleb's had a lot of success.
Ryle to Falsgraf. Just had a little trouble coming out of that break.
Juwan's done a pretty nice job on him tonight and getting a little physical with Falsgraf. We're really not used to seeing a lot of single coverage with him. And one thing that maybe teams haven't done a whole lot is try to get up in his face and not allow him clean releases off the line of scrimmage.
Ryle was a quick hitter on that one. I wonder if he had time to let the play develop. Titus might have been open over the middle. But, again, you're going to trust that jump ball with Reed versus lots of people. Ryle rolling out to the right. There's pressure there. Ryle gets outside of it.
He's open.
And he's going to be out of bounds anyway, I think.
And didn't catch it. So I would think you're settling for a field goal here. Kind of long, but definitely makeable.
Yeah.
He's got the leg.
Yeah, 31-yarder. I don't know if he's practiced many field goals this year, to be perfectly honest. I know last year he said he felt good at 35.
Right.
And
it was a nice job out of, looked like Owen Thomas really applying some pressure there early on to Ryle from that linebacker position.
Looks like we can go 32 and a half yard attempt here. Snap down, kick up. Is it going to get there? It's short, or to the right, I think
it was to the right. I think it had the leg, but it was probably to the right.
So what a big change there as the Blue Jays took the opening kick to the 10-yard line and are not able to score off of it.
And it comes back a little bit to that motion penalty. We don't get that. Yeah. Our run, I think, was down to about the 3-yard line, 3-yard line.
Yeah, it was definitely a halfback plunge position coming up.
For sure. Yeah, and I think it was first down, so you were going to have a couple cracks at it. So in high school, missed field goal, ball goes back to the 20.
So we actually gained 2.5 yards. Well, no, we lost a little bit, right? Because the ball was inside.
Yep.
Ball was at the 14. Titans running somebody on late. Maker, the near side receiver.
Probably want to play with a guard.
And Handoff to Patlin. He's going to get brought down for no gain. And Falsgraf and Maker getting a little action out here.
Look, getting a little handsy
37
late.
yards down.
Yep, neither one of those guys need to get a silly penalty. I don't think either one of those guys really want to get in the mix anyway. So
they look like they would be a fun matchup on a basketball court.
Yeah, I guess I didn't look it up. You typically look up some of their other sports.
I didn't see anything big for Maker, so he might have just been below enough people, though, too. Hetzel steps up, gets the ball away to Maker. I think he dropped it out of bounds anyway. Yep.
Pretty good throw on the run. You would think he'd be a force out on the court.
I had Curtis Whitty is like 8 points a game. Nash Paulson, number 16, has 13 points a game.
So they got a couple dudes that play some ball.
Well, and I think they had 3 seniors last year that were in the top 5 for scoring, so he might have just been low enough by default.
3rd and long again. We've seen Hetzel make some nice plays here, scrambling.
And pressure from Ernst. Ernst going to bring him down. There is a flag on the play. I don't think it's going to matter.
Nope, got a hold, and a nice job of the Jays really corralling him and not allowing him to break the pocket.
Parker Ernst gets the sack on the play. It's going to bring up 4th and long.
When those pass rushers get past the quarterback, you kind of open up the lanes a little bit, and they both did a nice job of really stopping once they got even with him and didn't allow him to step up.
Please come off all the way off the field. All right, now we're winding.
Yep,
Okay.
got 11.
Espinoza to kick again.
That was
Punt.
a little bit more of a liner.
Falsgraf makes the catch at the 49, goes down low and secures it. Good job
Almost
preventing a bad bounce.
Yeah, almost ran into some danger there. Just
his own guy coming into him.
Yeah, the kick was short enough that own guy almost ran into him.
The Blue Jays not as good a position as last time, but 49 is still a good starting position.
Yeah, I don't think you can ask for much else. We didn't have very many stops in the first half, but already got 2 to start this one.
So 2.5 minutes have passed in the second half here. Aiden McDonald, the near side receiver. Falsgraf and Cram to the high side. Caleb Moore in the backfield behind Ryle. Play action. Ryle looking downfield. Going to roll out.
There's the use of those legs.
And
really got lucky there. Probably could have been PI on
Falsgraf. The jersey was pulling away.
Yep. And we got a late hit maybe? I missed the signal. But it's a penalty on Lewis Central.
Let's see what this replay looks like, or time delay here we got.
Yeah, he did get drilled. I don't know if it was late or not, but it was probably out of bounds.
Yeah. So that's going to be 15 yards from the previous spot. It's going to bring it up to the 34. So back into some solid field position here.
Jays will definitely take that.
ADM scored again.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. ADM putting on a clinic at Norwalk, up 47-7. Cram Wildcat backfield. That looked like a false start, and it was.
Both teams coming out a little sloppy. Couple penalties on the Jays and a big one on Lewis Central there. Really, they've had 2 as well. Just one of them was declined.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty.
As sloppy as the start is did second half, though, it really hasn't been a very heavily penalized game. I think there was only like 6 combined. Actually, it might have been 4 combined.
First half was pretty clean. I think we had 1 late hit, 1 personal foul in that first half.
Cram in the backfield. Moore and Ryle near side. Falsgraf high side. Cram takes the snap. Lets it develop. Finds a little bit of an opening. Going to fall forward for about 3.
Lewis Central seems to maybe be putting up a little bit more of a fight here. I'm sure they maybe had a little challenge at halftime as well. I don't know if it's a schematical change, but
also might be an opportunity to look over the top here for an pass
I think,
option.
And I was going to kind of mention that I think that with the success we've had at some point in time, play action will probably be there. However, last time it wasn't really open.
trips right. Cram, the quarterback. Nowhere to go. He's going to try and bounce outside. Still nowhere to go. Leaps over one guy. Gets him 2 yards. So 3rd and 10.
Ortega went real low on that one, and Titus probably could have
Cram
just
jump and got caught by one of the other guys.
Yeah, probably could have just stepped over him. And we've mentioned that before as well. You got to be careful of that because hurdling is a flag in high school. I don't think he really hurdled.
He didn't really hurdle. It was more of a hesitation jump.
Kind of jumped and went sideways.
Slid. Cram, the man in motion, taking the jet sweep, trying to get the lead blockers out in front, but doesn't have room. And he's going to get brought down for a 1-yard loss with a late hit at the end. That's not a penalty, but just a late cleanup hit.
First time you asked for that jet sweep, and first time we saw it. And
it looked a little funny just because our lead
you didn't ask for it. You mentioned it was a possibility, and Lewis Central was definitely ready for that.
So
third stop in a row here.
So this is definitely a surprising second half.
Yeah, the feeling out process here, the defense has maybe figured some things out. And usually that's the case. You know, if you got one side that isn't doing a whole lot, you're going to make more adjustments there. And if you're having success, you don't really worry about it a whole lot.
And ball's going to be out of bounds.
Yeah, that's
not
about
bad.
The
15 maybe? Where are we coming up? How far is he coming up?
It's
16,
probably going to be
17?
at least a 20, I think.
20, all right, 23.
I got no problem with that. No return.
Yeah.
No chance of return. And
no penalty.
Yeah, almost the same as kicking it in the end zone. So pretty good result there.
All right, so first 3 drives combined have amounted to nothing in this half. So
yeah, really not much. Got the penalty on Lewis Central that gave us a first down. Other than that,
Hudson McConnell coming in to play safety here. So Cram getting a little break. Stessman, the man in motion.
I think he might want to come over to this side too. There's
Whitty gets the screen, and it's going to be incomplete.
There was 3 receivers over here, and we only had two defenders.
First pass is incomplete to number 13, Curtis Whitty.
Thought maybe Lewis Central was going to try the old skip pass.
Yeah.
You know, everybody thinks it's dead, and it's still alive as long as it's lateral. All right, now we got Titus back out on the field. And there we go, same formation.
Hetzel drops straight back, looking deep for Maker.
Nope.
And comes back to the ball and gets it.
Well, that's what
a great play.
We talked about that at the beginning of the game, that matchup. Albright really had great coverage. It's just you're going against a guy that's about a foot taller.
First down, 1st and 10.
So gain of 34 on that pass to Maker. Yeah, he really had good position on it. Maker made a great play.
And I've mentioned we're playing off. You'd think they'd just run the hitch, but
Patlin with a little room up the middle. McDonald secures the tackle, but gain of 7.
First positive run we've really seen out of them in a little while.
I mean, really, first positive run since Chappelle went out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was alluding to. Since he went down, they really haven't had success running the football. Some 1 or 2 yarders, but that's about it.
Yeah, Albright on the high side with Maker again. Hetzel's looking that way the whole time. Avoids Riak, gets the pass off, and it looked like it might have been tipped.
I think it got deflected, which probably saved a completion there.
Yeah. Ortega, the intended receiver.
Hetzel does a really nice job of looking for that initial receiver, and if it's not there, finding some open space.
Eyes downfield the whole time.
Yep. Yeah, he's got faith in his guys blocking for him.
I couldn't quite tell who made the tip. It might have been Baker.
Yeah, it was somebody right down the line of scrimmage. Just got a little bit of a paw on it.
All right, so that was.
This looks confusing.
Well, you didn't really break the huddle, but you had 12 guys in the field in formation. So timeout, Lewis Central.
Yeah, maybe save themselves a penalty there. Well, like you mentioned, kind of an interesting start here to the second half. We've had 2 cracks at it, one almost down inside our 10 and don't score, and Lewis Central really didn't do anything with their first one. They've got a nice little drive going together here after the deep ball to Maker.
Yep. I mean, really changed the field position. We've been on this half of the field the north side of the field the whole half after that kick return.
And a couple concerns. They've played 3 games, very close, all been down to the end.
Yeah.
They're used to those types of games. Yep. The other concern was we had a really good lead on Norfolk and really were in complete control.
Yeah.
And just a couple mishaps here and there and end up losing that one. We just got to make sure we keep our momentum going here and don't run out of gas.
Now we got Maker near side, Whitty on the high side. Falsgraf on Maker.
And this might be a deep ball. You're up pressing.
No, handoff. Patlin. Patlin makes the first guy miss, gets brought down by McDonald, but that's going to be a first down Titans. Gain of 5.
Yeah, so 2 straight.
Brody Patlin finding a little room now. I think this might be one of those ideals where you got the pass creating space on the run.
Yep.
First down, 1st and 10, Titans.
And I think you look out there and you see that press coverage. Lewis Central loves to throw the deep ball. I think next time maybe you check to that thing and chuck it down the field. Open.
Hetzel to Stassman, makes the catch. And what is that flag?
Well, it might be a shot to the head here.
It looked like he went right through the shoulder, though. I don't know. That's a tough one if that's what it is.
You got a replay there.
Stassman makes the catch. 18 yards.
He definitely hits with his shoulder, not his helmet.
It's shoulder to shoulder.
It's
I don't like
shoulder.
that call.
This is football.
So, penalty is a 5-yard penalty.
I don't know what happened there. Was it half the distance?
I think they only moved it from the 13 to the 8, so maybe that's half. I don't know. Dalton House in the backfield, going to go ahead and take it 5 yards the other way.
Yeah, it looked like he was completely unblocked. And gets through there immediately to make a tackle for, what was that, 4 or 5 yard loss?
Well, the officials on opposite sides of the field were 3 yards apart, so they're only going to call it a 3-yard loss.
Okay.
The near side official had him all the way back to the 13.
Yeah, he pretty much got it tackled as soon as he got the football.
So 2nd and goal from the 10. Hetzel looking to the end zone to Maker, and Falsgraf knocks it away, and it's into the hands of Titus Cram for an interception. Blue Jay interception in the end zone. Falsgraf into the hands of Cram. That's huge.
Yeah, really nice play out of Reed there just to get a hand on that. And just drops
and it's good to have friends, right?
It drops right into Titus's hands.
Which I love what Falsgraf did there, right? Because he wasn't trying to make an interception. He just wanted to bat the ball away. It just so happened that the next closest guy was your own guy.
Hetzel probably needed to climb the ladder a little bit more, I guess. And throw it up a little bit higher to the 6'7" guy, but really nice play there. And you get a touchdown there, and man, that really changes the dynamic of the game. So
well, and if you're the Titans right here, if the Blue Jays put any type of drive together,
demoralizing.
Yep. So we'll see what the Blue Jays can do. 1st and 10. Riak, Ryle, and Miller to the left. Do we have 12 guys on the field?
You can't play with 12.
You know, so we had a tight end.
It's not Canada.
Tight end, a halfback, 5 receivers. I feel like we had an advantage.
We had a lot of skill dudes out there.
Penalty against the Blue Jays.
Well, that's
one
way to start your drive.
Kids got to know their personnel packages.
So 1st and 15 now.
McDonald was the one coming off. I mean, maybe it was him, maybe it wasn't. Doesn't really matter, but fact is you turn over on downs and end up with 12.
Caleb Moore takes it, tries to shoot up the middle. Good tackle. I can't tell who's laying on the ground, but good open field tackle.
15 there.
So that's going to be Caleb Moore tackling Caleb Moore.
Yeah, they're similar in style too. Pretty sturdy dudes.
Ball carrier is number 2, Caleb Moore, brought down to play.
Their Caleb might be a little bit taller.
Paulson, number 52.
Ours a little stockier.
He got lower that time, though.
2nd and 13 for the Blue Jays.
2nd and 13. Trips left. Caleb Moore still the Wildcat. Cole Miller takes the jet sweep, trying to get to the outside, cuts back to the middle, not a lot of room, falls forward for 3.
Good job to get something out of that, because I thought it was going to be another tackle at the line of scrimmage. And you end up at 3rd and 10. This is manageable. Titus coming back on the field.
On the carry, number 25.
Looks like Vanderlin's going to come out. Got 3rd and 10.
You'd think you're putting Ryle back in the quarterback spot here, but
yeah, you're going to probably see some sort of throw here. I would think.
Looks like React's coming near side. Faltzgraff's going high side. Cram and Miller joining Batney on the near side.
And it looks like you kind of got single coverage on Titus, maybe a little underneath help.
Bringing pressure. Ryle's got to get the ball away, and he's brought down. That's number 2 on the tackle, Camden Cross.
So the Titans definitely figured some things out at halftime. And like I mentioned earlier, I think maybe they just are playing with a little bit more emotion, and they're getting after it right now.
So Blue Jays are going to be punting from near their own goal line on a 4th and 15. So not an ideal drive.
No,
but
they have flipped the field and really kind of been not in control, but they've definitely had opportunity.
And we're
going
to
get another flag, and that's too bad because that was a really nice punt.
False start, Blue Jays.
All right, so this second half has turned into kind of a sloppy mess.
That thing was about 40 yards in the air.
Punt from our 10 now.
I guess actually more than that from where he punted it, but from the line of scrimmage, it was about 40 yards in the air.
Punted from the 3, and it went out right around the 50?
Yeah, about 45, opposite 45.
Okay.
So,
well, maybe we can get another good one.
Yeah, get a shot at it, punt it further.
Another
Still
good punt,
pretty good
though.
punt.
And rolls out right around the 40, 46, I think.
No return.
We got somebody down.
Yeah, it looked like
is that Hayworth?
Trotter got somebody.
That's Talon
Yep.
Hayworth.
Must have picked him up as a gunner, maybe running down the field. Couldn't see it on the screen here, but, yeah, he was definitely on the ground.
Yeah.
So, positive field position here for Lewis Central.
3rd drive for the Titans this half. Tetzel takes the snap, hands it to Patlin. Patlin up the middle and makes a man miss, and Cram's going to bring him down after a gain of 6.
I thought he had a little bit of a chance there of busting a big one. Titus with a great tackle. I don't know if we got another injury.
We are running out there. Is
that
Titus?
That might be Titus. Maybe a cramp. Still experiencing the cramps.
Yep. McConnell coming in. Not enough pickle juice, I guess. I know they picked up on that, but not enough. Well, as we move near the end of the 3rd quarter here, we thank our Booster Club business sponsors. Booster Club business sponsors include Plaza RV, Parks Custom Homes, A&N Electric and Controls, Mid-States Precast Products, Jeffy Pop, A3 Auto, 34 Diamonds LLC, American Dream Exteriors, Netacell Financial Services, and Man Seed. So thank you all for supporting our Booster Club, who are able to help our athletes perform at top levels with great equipment, uniforms, and all those things like that.
Absolutely. Fantastic stuff. We're always decked out in the best gear.
Or at least this side of the Nike Oregon sponsor, right?
Yeah, that's right. Relatively speaking. Well, this is taking a little bit longer than a cramp normally would. And it's kind of hard to see across the field.
Right.
We get a little bit of a reflection off our window.
We took out as many windows as we could, but it's also still 75 or 85 yards away at least.
Now he's rolling over, so I don't know if they're just trying to work out the cramp.
Yeah. 2:24 remaining in the 3rd.
We haven't really seen that the last 2 weeks because we haven't really had to play into the second half very much. But we definitely saw in that first week when it was pretty warm all week. And this is where you have a little test of your depth.
We're going to hop all the way across. See if we can expose the other calf.
So it could be, could be a cramp.
Oh, Hoop's in there. Ready to help.
I think he was saying no help.
Yeah, he's unhappy that he's
Yep,
out.
let's just hope it's a cramp. We got second in about 4. Lewis Central kind of finding a little bit of success in the run game. And it is a little different with Titus not being the guy coming downhill to finish plays either.
Hetzel looking deep to Whitty. Whitty makes the catch, and he's down at the 20. Just found a hole in the zone there.
Well, and now you got a sub in at safety for Titus. Are they going to start throwing that direction? Which Lewis Central does have 2 really good targets on the outside, and honestly, their slot guys have been pretty good tonight too.
Ortega's looked really good as well, yeah.
So you got some options. Middle of the field is pretty open right now.
And Stessman's headed that way, and that's where he went.
Great tackle out of McConnell, I believe.
Yep, but makes the catch. He's brought down at the 3-yard line. So gain of 17 on that one. Stessman with another catch. That's his 4th. Speaking of the slot guys making plays.
And, man, Hetzel just throwing darts, just throwing BBs out there.
Patlin up the middle, and he gets the touchdown for the Titans.
Heck of a kick out block there out of Owen Thomas. Yeah. Kind of destroyed our end guy.
We'll let his name not be mentioned.
Yeah, I won't say it. Nobody needs to know, but nice block.
So just like that, Titans are going to line up for the extra point to try to make it a field goal game.
Well, I didn't think they would just disappear. I was kind of maybe hoping they would.
Right. Oh, bad. He almost had that, but that kick is up and good.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he missed that. It looked like he was.
Unless he wasn't as close as we thought, but, man, he looked like he was right
looked
there.
Like he was almost going to catch that thing.
So Blue Jays now really need to find a way to make a drive happen.
I think it maybe just went under his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen us have some success with him, with Titus on the sideline. I'm not sure if he's good to go or not.
It still kind of looks like we're
but
checking it? Yeah.
That definitely changes things if he's not an option.
Hayworth is back in there deep, looking to make another big return. Blake Guthrie also back there. Again, you're angling heavy to the left side, so you think they're going to kick it to Hayworth. We'll see if we stay the same ability to get outside.
That's what they do. They'll probably do the same thing. Maybe they didn't like the last one. Maybe they try squibbing it.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of green area between our third-row players and our return guys.
Yeah. But it's not one of those things where you want to kick it the opposite way because you don't have any coverage over there. So.
No, unless you make that call and guys just start angling that way.
Yeah.
That's okay. Our guys do retreat here, so there's not as much green space. I think you just got to trust your special teams and do what you do.
1:30 remaining in the third.
That one might get out of bounds.
Oh,
wow.
What a great kick.
That's what you do.
Oh, what?
You kick it right down the sideline thinking it's going to go out of bounds, but that gets to the end zone. So touchback.
Jalen Davis with the takedown at the 40-yard line after the ball's already rolled out of the.
Well, was there a whistle blown?
Well, maybe not.
You play to the whistle.
Well, if he's not out for wrestling, you probably want to look at it.
So it looks like we've got more in at tailback.
The 2 fullback set, Falscraft to the high side.
Yep, well, that might be where you go. You got your one-on-one out here. Haven't really tested it a whole lot.
Moore going to roll through it, and he's breaking some tackles.
Great run.
Brought down after a gain of 7.
Really, the Jays just need to go get a couple first downs here and get a little momentum back. The body language is kind of starting to look a little poor. Need something positive to happen.
Number 2, Camden Cross. Number 8, Owen Thomas.
And it just feels a little better when you're inflicting the hit on somebody else. And so keep that ball, offensive lineman driving downhill.
Yeah, they've been really good tonight.
Same formation. Same play.
That one, he had a good head of steam going, but so did the defender.
Looks like no gain on the play.
And a really nice tackle right at the line of scrimmage. So you got 3rd and 3. Can't get to the quarter. Looks like we got about 4 seconds short of getting to the quarter, so you can't talk about it. I think Caleb Moore and somebody else was in on that play.
I think it was Camden Cross again.
Got him with the club.
Yeah. All right, 9 seconds on the play clock.
Maybe you go play action. You still got that one-on-one out there.
And Ryle tried the keeper, but 44.
We don't have him on the roster.
No,
I've tried to call him a couple times. And I don't.
Making plays in the backfield. There's going to be a loss of 3. Brings up 4th and 3 and brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Good discipline by the unnamed man, not biting into the fake.
Yeah, because I mentioned it at some point in time they're going to pull it, and, man, I thought for sure it would be open. And he wasn't really responsible for the quarterback. He was getting blocked and just happened to get off the block.
Yep. He went too deep and happened to be right into the
I almost
area.
wonder if Ryle maybe pulled that on his own. If that wasn't – because normally you just let that guy go and send your tackle to a linebacker because you're banking on that guy chasing the running back.
Right.
Well, pretty good scoring first half. Not a high scoring.
No. Second half has left a little to be desired. One score and 5 combined empty possessions.
Yeah, and we kind of benefited from an interception in the end zone.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this score could look a little bit different.
Really, you're not wrong with the body language. You need to find something to get a little motivated, a little hype man somewhere.
Well, we kind of got that similar look like we did against Norfolk where I think we're tired.
Yeah.
And these guys have played fourth quarters. We haven't had to the last couple weeks because we've kind of blasted some people.
Yeah.
Need another good punt here out of Ryle.
Whitty, the return man. Pretty dangerous in his own right. They want to pump up the
we need some
game
time on the
clock.
clock.
Right now we're still showing 0 minutes.
Coach Hamas is on it. Yeah, we'll be all right. Just getting everybody a little extra break.
All right, so Ryle with the punt. Good line drive sidewinder, and it goes over Whitty's head, and Whitty's chasing it down.
Oh,
and it's
no.
a loose ball. Blue Jays have the ball. Blue Jays have the ball. Oh, man, that sidewinder kick. Whitty couldn't handle it, went over his head, and Talon Hayward downfield with his second great special teams play.
I'm not for sure what to say there. He obviously kind of misplayed it a little bit. Thought for sure that he'd be able to get on it, but he kind of slips a little bit as he's going to pick it up. Probably should have.
You don't pick it up, right? Yep. You just fall on it.
Probably should have just jumped on it. That's a killer because
you had all the momentum.
Had all the momentum. Probably gonna have the ball around the 40, and now all of a sudden, Jays are back.
Play action, quick hitter to Falsgraf. Falsgraf on the outside, what you want. Makes the first guy miss, and he fights forward to the 16-yard line for a gain of 12. Reed Falsgraf.
Kind of thought we'd see a little bit more of that, but I think we haven't just because we've had so much success running the football. And with Titus out, maybe now we'll see a little bit more of that because you are going to get that single coverage. He's all in an island by himself.
And we've done a lot of going deep with Falsgraf this year, so him coming back to that is, I mean, you got to.
It's a really tough route to defend.
Caleb Moore trying to get up the middle is going to gain 2.
Fade stop is probably the hardest route. Because you turn your hips and you bail and you turn and run, and then all of a sudden the guy stops going full speed.
So Bryce Juwan listed at 6'1".
So he matches up pretty well height-wise.
We'll see if you find a corner opportunity maybe in the end zone, but
I still think jump ball situation is pretty decent. They look pretty similar in height,
and they're really out there on an island on the high side. And Ryle's going to look that way. Makes the catch for Falsgraf. Cuts to the outside. He's got the angle, and that's a Blue Jay touchdown. Reed Falsgraf. What a great pitch and catch, and then Falsgraf makes the man miss. Just like that, body language all good again.
Yeah, and even pre-snap, if you watch, Juwan's starting to bail before the ball is even snapped. He's already on his heels.
I think that was Whitty that time, actually. Or no, Juwan went short. Whitty was the guy in the end zone with him. Okay. Extra point to give you a 10-point lead.
And you want to tell your corner, if you're going to go make that tackle, you got to make him go to the inside, not to the outside, because there's nobody there.
And that one's good.
Hey, I think we figured out, if we say his name again, I got 44, TJ Nettles.
TJ Nettles. All right.
Did a little research.
Well, he's not number 23 then, huh? All right.
Well, maybe that's the home jersey. I don't know.
Yeah.
Big touchdown there out of the Jays. So
Huge
we're
drive.
talking about needed some momentum, needed something positive to happen. Took a little mistake out of the Titans to help us out. But that was big.
I mean, I do think you said earlier that it might come down to special teams.
Yeah. and we missed the extra point, which wasn't good. But other than that, our special teams have been more special than theirs.
Yeah.
We had a really nice kickoff return. We made a field goal.
Cram is out there to kick, so I don't know what that says about whatever his injury is, but he's the kickoff here. 10:38 remaining in the fourth. Cram's kick is a line drive into the end zone for a touchback.
So now if you're Lewis Central, you need 2 scores. You don't necessarily have to hurry things up.
No.
But you might have to find a little bit of pace to you.
What are you doing defensively if you're the Blue Jays? You trying to make them run it to make it happen slower?
If Titus is out on the field, that definitely changes things, because I think that's going to secure you a little bit more in the run game, just because he's so physical downhill, and he gets downhill in a hurry. Yeah, you're going to want to make him throw it, I think.
Patlin, the ball carrier. There's a flag on the play.
Go ahead and give up the 5-yard runs and let him milk some clock. What you don't want is one of those big plays.
Right.
I don't think they can get a big play running.
Especially not if Titus is playing a little bit over the top and not crashing.
I do think they can get big plays in the passing game, though.
We've seen it already.
Yep. That's what you got to eliminate.
So Maker coming near side with Falsgraf on him.
So right here, you see that press coverage. You might think, hey, let's.
And ball's on the ground. Ball's on the ground.
There's a big pile. We might have that. He couldn't get to it.
No, he got pushed back, and that's a Blue Jay ball. What a huge couple of minutes here for the Blue Jays, forcing turnovers, and now you have the ball at your 12-yard line.
Yeah, miscues are really killing Lewis Central. He had the pick 6 in the first half. He got the muff punt, and now.
And you had another interception deep, too.
Yep, and then the fumble here, I think he just kind of missed it. It looked like he hit him in the hands, and he was maybe pulling away.
And you added the motion to it, which is, another variable.
Yeah, a little bit of a jog motion where the guy goes back behind him. Oh, I think the running back hit it out of his hand. He went to play fake, and I think it had some contact.
Moore in the backfield takes the handoff from Ryle, hits left side.
It looked like there was going to be something there, but
it's still 4. I mean,
yeah, I thought that thing was going to part and going to be a touchdown, but
I got excited about a touchdown. But I'll
Titans,
take 4 yards on that carry, or 3 yards, whatever we're going to get out.
Do a nice job of closing that thing up.
On the carry, number 2, Caleb Moore.
And it's tough. You look at the Jays formation; they just go. They literally go shoe to shoe. There's no gap there.
Well, on that one, we actually have an angle where you see the hole open perfectly, and it's like it looks like we could run through it.
Well, not you or I, but
I said it looks like. I didn't say we could.
Somebody of skill.
Maybe youth.
Yeah. All right, we are.
Moore takes the carry.
Good job breaking that initial tackle, because that was going to be about a no-gainer. He ended up turning that into probably 3.
Yeah, it looks like they're giving him 3 again, so that's going to give you 3rd and 4. Now it gets a little interesting because you can stick with that and just do the same thing twice.
Keep pounding it. You're running that clock. Worst case scenario, you end up kicking a field goal. That's not the end of the world. Don't want to do that, though. Definitely want a touchdown. Touchdown about seals it with the extra point. Puts it at a 3-score game.
I don't know. I feel like it's too early for that for me to feel great about it. But
3 scores would be really hard to overcome.
Falsgraf coming far to the right.
You got press coverage down here on the bottom.
Oh, I think we jumped off of their jump, so that's going to take us back 5.
I think that.
Penalty is a false start against the Blue Jays.
So that's going to change your play call probably. Puts it back at 3rd and 9. So I think once again you look at Falsgraf here.
Yeah.
I don't foresee Lewis Central changing what they're doing. They're going to go man-to-man. The one thing that they did change there was the press coverage versus playing off. So that means you got to probably throw a fade route.
I do like the idea that if we can play Titus a little, we're just holding him on defense.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's the way you got to roll right now with the lead.
Play action. Ball is high to
fade.
Falsgraf into the end zone. He makes the catch, and that's a Blue Jay touchdown. Reed Falsgraf. What a great ball, and then really taking it to the other guy to come down with the ball.
It's a good catch. That was a heck of a throw.
Falsgraf's second touchdown of the half.
Well, and it's one of those things. I told you the fade was coming. They probably knew the fade was coming, and there's a point. There's not a lot you can do about it when it's that good.
That is a great clip of it. Kick is up. Kick is left. That's all right. You got the touchdown. What a great shot of that touchdown as well on the replay here by Blue Jay Digital. That's just beautiful. Drops it in a bucket. So Blue Jays now 36-20 lead on back-to-back Falsgraf touchdown receptions.
And Ryle just continues his good season. Not sure how many yards he's got tonight, but the big thing is the no turnovers.
He's only at like 85 yards. He's just been extremely efficient with them.
It's been timely. Both of those touchdown passes were difficult spots for the Jays, and he put it in the right spot.
Well, and we talked a lot, those first couple drives that didn't work inside the 10 that, we might need to see this pass.
Yep.
And Ryle stepped up and finding his guy, and we only got one guy en route, so everybody knows where it's going.
And that's the good thing is if you're Ryle, you're not really worried about getting hit because you got a lot of dudes protecting.
Right. Ortega.
Not a lot of room there.
But making some guys miss, but then that tackle gets cleaned up by, I think is that 42 Ryder Miller.
Somehow he slipped right between two guys. That was a nice.
He still only got out to the 16, though.
Right.
17.
It was good coverage.
Picking up for the Blue Jays,
Just could have been better. Could have been probably inside the 10. Well, do or die time here for Lewis Central. It's you got to go score.
It's two scores.
You still got to go score on this drive. I don't think there's enough time to, unless you go 3 and out on passes.
Right.
Or incomplete passes.
Hatzel looking deep to Maker. That ball is too deep, and he tries to run through Falsgraf, and that's a bad call because that was offensive as much as it was defensive.
Well, they might call it offensive. I feel like
I jumped the gun. They're saying Reed extended his arm, but really he
has a right to that
over.
position. He was there. He was standing there, and Maker ran him over.
So, bad defensive pass interference call. If anything, you probably should have let that go because they were both there. But it was definitely
incidental contact. Whatever.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe they call him for impeding his progress. I don't know.
I don't like
a tough
it.
one.
But whatever. It's only 15 yards.
Well,
in high
you're
school.
a homer too. So
I am absolutely a homer. I can tell you I've never called a Titans game before.
Yeah, this is a first for us.
Patlin trying to get to the outside. Falsgraf forces him back in. Gets a little help from House on the finish.
Good pursuit out of D lineman there.
Gain of 9 by Patlin.
That's why you never stop. Good effort out of Dalton.
Two receivers left, two receivers right. Patlin up the middle, and going to get the first down, brought down at the 50.
Kind of similar to that first quarter where they found a little bit of something off the left side. Obviously, Rutledge is a dude running behind him.
Yeah. They're going hurry up.
They are. They are not.
Same play again, but this time there's some pressure in the backfield. Ernst got him slowed up just a tad on the backside, and that was enough for Vanderlinden and Miller and the whole party to get there. So gain of 2.
And like I said, you gotta have some pace to you, especially if you don't score. You got to give yourself an opportunity to get the ball back 2 more times. But I think they're probably at the point now.
They really want to be in the end zone before the 5-minute mark. Hetzel looks outside to Whitty, and that ball hung up there for a little while, but is that Whitty? Maybe it wasn't.
I think it's
Whitty.
yeah,
it's Whitty. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's a really long throw. Across the field is 53 yards, and that thing was hash almost to out of bounds. So you're looking at close to 40, close to a 40-yard throw from where he actually throws it and catches it, maybe 35.
Brings up 3rd and 5. Hetzel drops back, throws it out, and that ball, Albright made a jump on it and actually tripped over Maker's foot as he tried to run by it. Otherwise, he might have been off to the races the other direction. He read it well.
It's like he was in the huddle and knew what play was coming. That's a great read out of him. We mentioned, hey, throw the hitch. He's been playing off, but he read that thing really well. And he never looks at the wide receiver. It's all about reading the quarterback, reading their shoulders. They turn to square
they got
up.
another guy coming off, right?
That should be a flag.
Did you break the huddle? I mean,
why is that not a flag?
4th and 5.
Why is that not a flag?
Right. Nobody seems to be questioning it.
Oh, are they going to punt?
No, it's a pass, and
holy cow.
Wow. Albright made the jump on it. Maker secures the catch, and
so they avoid the penalty, the obvious penalty.
Yeah. And gain
run
12
the
on
same
it.
play basically that they ran last time, and he just throws it harder.
Yeah, he did. It was a cannon on that one.
And his slot receiver wasn't even ready. That looked like Stessman wasn't looking.
Oh, they got a man down, on the high side. That's Maker.
Which I wonder if he's a cramp or shouldn't be cramping him. He's a one-way guy.
Yeah. And so now they got the guy off the field, but we're taking it as a timeout because they took the timeout. And so
refs are saying, let's go.
We got our fans chewing that it's not a timeout. Hey, buddy, if they aren't making us stop it counts as a timeout. So 1st and 10 from the 33. Owen Thomas in motion. Hetzel drops straight back. Batney's got a beat on him, but he drops it off. Nice catch by Patlin up the sideline, and good juke in, and Patlin makes a couple guys miss for a great 33-yard touchdown reception.
I'm not for sure what the best part of that play was. His one-handed catch, his wiggle at the end, and it's a pretty good job out of Hetzel. He was getting some pressure and gets it out there. Yep, got to go for 2 here.
That's their 7th different receiver with the catch.
Well, he finds people, man.
Yeah.
He gets out of pressure situations. All right, let's see. What do we got here?
So we got Patlin in the backfield.
Kind of got an unbalanced formation
Patlin
there.
up the middle.
Little push. I think he's short.
He did not get it.
I thought for sure he was going to get there initially. Looked like a decent hold, but somebody came in to clean that thing up. They actually go with an unbalanced formation here. The tight end's covered up, not eligible. I'm sure trying to run behind Rutledge. Definitely missed a holding call on Miller. He got raked to the ground. So 6-11. You got two timeouts. I think you're kicking this one deep.
You got time for that still.
I think you got to kick it deep. You got 6 minutes, 2 timeouts. Your defense, for the most part, has been pretty good in the second half. You just haven't been able to defend the third and long pass on the goal line. That's really kind of been your issue.
We look like we're aware of an onside kick.
And I think is a return team.
We're putting Titus back, so we're going to say, all right, if you kick it deep, you have to give the ball to Titus.
I think you got to prepare for that. And maybe it's one of those, hey, you tell your kicker, I want you to try to hit the dude right in front of you, kick it as hard as you can.
Right.
If he doesn't get it, it's probably going to roll for 30, 40 yards.
I do love, as much as I don't like Ryle being anywhere but quarterback, I like him standing at the 38 right now because it's near green space and he's a really smart player.
Yeah,
like if that ball squeaks through, he's not going to let it sit. I know he's going to go get it because he knows it's a live ball.
I've mentioned before, I think he's maybe the smartest kid I've coached. So, yeah, having him on the field right now is probably a good decision. The way that Espinosa's going back here, it looks like he's kicking this ball deep.
And he's going to step up, and he gets a squibber, and it's still going to roll out of bounds. Just barely. If that was a punt, it was perfect.
I was going to say, how in the world does he keep that in? And that was close. It did hit the pylon, but I think it
hit
after
the chalk first.
It went out of bounds.
They're having a discussion because they're not sure.
Yep.
They're going to change it. So that's not going to make friends.
I didn't see the replay here. We'll watch it on yours. Man, it was close.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to be able to tell on this.
No, it's probably not. I mean, it looked.
You know what?
I don't know how the center official, though, comes over and overrules the guy 3 feet from the ball.
And I don't know if he overruled him. I think he asked him.
Well,
I think he asked him what he thought, and he probably said it hit the pylon, so he called it a touchback. It was close.
Yeah. Either way.
It looked like it maybe hit the ground and then the pylon, but we're also a long ways away.
Cram takes the handoff up the middle, falls forward for 4.
And that's all you got to do.
Burn clock.
About 6, 7 of those in a row, and we're sitting pretty good.
Yep.
No negative plays, no penalties, and no turnovers. Those are the big things you got to avoid. Probably no incomplete passes would also be on that list, but
yeah, we'll see if we even have an opportunity for that. I wouldn't be surprised if we'll run it 3 times in a row from this spot just to burn the clock because they need to.
Yeah, it's going to take a unique situation, I think, for us to throw it.
We're breaking the huddle a little earlier than I thought we would actually, but because we got a shift. All right. Handoff, Cram, left side, looking for an option, drops his shoulder down, pushing ahead. That's going to be close to a first down, and I think they got it. Gain of 7 on the play. Good drive by the line to keep Titus going forward.
And you're probably looking at, realistically, about 3 or more of those.
To milk the clock all the way.
We'll probably do it. Or at least get you close enough where, hey, they don't have enough time to get 2 scores.
Yep. So Ryle comes in with 10 seconds on the clock. Falscraft has to hustle out wide. Cram behind Ryle, 4 seconds. Shift, 2, 1, and we're going to call a timeout to avoid the 5-yard penalty. So
yeah, maybe you get out there a little bit earlier. You don't have to snap it.
Right.
But get yourself in a spot where you're at least ready to snap it.
That's one thing I don't like about the quarterback coming to the side every time to get the play call. You know, you can rotate in a receiver. I mean, we got 4 fullbacks we rotate in. You could have one of them bring in the play.
So Jays use their first timeout of the half. Both teams with 2 now.
Got the timeout in time just to avoid the penalty, though. So you really, I mean, you milked 34 seconds off it before you called the timeout. Not a huge deal.
No, and you just, like I just mentioned, you got to really avoid penalties. Avoid getting yourself in behind the stick situation.
All right, so we're going to come out here. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Carlisle up 17-6 going into the 4th quarter, I think.
You got to think that thing's probably about over.
Oh, no, that's the final. Indianola loses to Carlisle.
The way
17-6.
Carlisle runs the football, I can't imagine they're still playing.
Ryle, handoff, Cram, bust back to the middle. He's going to gain maybe not anything, actually.
Nope. In Lewis Central, still not quite in that period of where you're going to use your timeouts. You might use it if it's 3rd and really long here, just to save yourself a little bit.
Cram's coming off on that. It looks like he's holding his arm, though.
Yeah, I can't tell what.
So not ideal, but
No, at least you got a pretty good option here going in with Caleb Moore.
Yeah. Cole Miller in the backfield, actually, behind Ryle.
Yeah, also a good option.
Yep. And not a lot of room there either. Going to gain a yard.
So maybe they use one here. Yep, they do. Save themselves about 40 seconds.
Yep. So that's their second.
Yep, they got one left.
4:01 on the clock. Cram back up, looking to get back in already. So whatever it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it might have just been another little cramp. Those are hard to get rid of once you get them in the game. North
Polk not struggling with Humboldt, 34-7. Ballard beats DCG 24-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure how DCG's not better. Like, you're almost a 5A school.
Well, and that quarterback, I remember him being, when he was on JV, he was a slinger and looked pretty solid last year too, as far as his ability to throw. I know they moved Mock, that really good linebacker, over to receiver, but regardless.
Grinnell's going to win another game. They won 2 in a row after playing us.
Gilbert, 31-12 over knocking off previously undefeated Boone.
Battle of the undefeateds there.
All right, 3rd and 9. Miller in the backfield. Falsgraf to the near side. Ryle, play action. Looking at Falsgraf deep. Has it up there, and that's a flag. There it is from the near side. I think our coaches might have earned that flag based off of where it came from.
They're going to talk a little bit. It says, hey, partner, I got this one.
I do think they owed us one from that one earlier on Falsgraf, but
this one's big, though, the timing.
And they're going to call it, and that's going to be a big penalty against Lewis Central.
And really puts Lewis Central in a tough spot now after using that timeout.
15-yard penalty for the Titans. First down, Bluejays.
And 3:55 on the clock, and now I feel a little bit better.
And they kind of run that fade, stop, go, stop and go. Really bid on it. Safety wasn't able to get over the top.
Miller up the middle, nowhere to go. Back to the line of scrimmage.
Wondering if is Caleb Miller or
Coleman
Caleb Moore okay?
He's got his helmet off. Right here at the 40, but he's just having a long conversation with Batney, telling his stories. So.
Caleb Moore on the carry. Stopping the play by number 65, Gavin Ryman-Schneider.
Moore's going in, so yeah. Clearly our ideas mean nothing. Sometimes a kid just takes off his helmet to hang out on the sidelines for a little bit, have a conversation. Moore taking the direct snap here. That was false start.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got a lot of guys moving.
Flag on the field. False start against the Bluejays.
Let's see. Looks like one of our future opponents, Newton, knocked off Marshalltown 45-0.
So going to be 2nd and 15 here. Throw to Falsgraf. Falsgraf with the drop.
Trail pass is incomplete to Reed Falsgraf.
The rare drop from Falsgraf.
Maybe thinking about running before he had it.
Yeah. He's really enjoyed the run after catch the last couple weeks, so he probably was thinking there's more to this.
Yeah, and that was high. That was a tough one.
I just assume he's going to catch everything high. Yeah.
He gets it a lot. Just
Moore going to get that clock run. He's got some room. Oh man, almost Larry Zonka his way to the end zone on that one if he's able to keep his balance.
Yeah, he was close. One little arm on the ground from Probably getting a first down. I don't know if he
Yeah.
scores, but he's getting a first
No,
down.
but there was a lot of room over
Yep.
here if he can maintain his balance. They're going to be 4th and 8. 2:47 on the clock. Lewis Central took the last time out. So you're really getting close to that room where something crazy would have to happen. But as we get close to that time, we'll take another quick opportunity to thank our Booster Club business sponsors. Plaza RV, Parks Custom Homes, A&N Electric and Controls, Mid-States Precast Products, Jeffy Pop, A3 Auto, 34 Diamonds LLC, American Dream Exteriors, Newcastle Financial Services, and Man Seed. So 4th and 8, Ryle's going to be in there to punt. Last one went really well for the Blue Jays as Woody was not able to control that.
I would say that's probably the play of the game. They've got momentum, going to have the ball, and that really changed things.
They're coming after it a little bit. Ryle's punt is up high, and Woody's going to make the catch at the 12.
And that was a hands catch, too. That was away from the body.
Cuts back the other side. He's got some speed. He's going to go out of bounds at about the 25, which is fine. 2:34 remaining.
Coming out for the Blue Jays, number 5, Jordan Ryle.
Stay tuned after the game. We will have our Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping Level 10 teammate and our Vision Bank Player of the Game.
So if you're Lewis Central, not a lot of time, no timeouts. Got to be getting out of bounds or got to be getting first downs. Ball's got to get down the field. Titus is out on the field, so that helps at safety.
Hetzel looking downfield right away, looking to run, and he's going to get brought down in the backfield. Is that House?
Yep, that's House.
That's House with the sack.
We
were just having a discussion about him a little bit off the mic about, who might be the right idea for the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping Level 10 teammate. Even before that sack, he's been making pressure on the quarterback, great blocks all around. But he just keeps making plays. Oh, what a beautiful ball. Great job by McDonald breaking that up. But he just dropped that right in a bucket. Stessman almost had it.
Well, and the other thing about Dalton that most people don't see is he's been making a lot of big blocks.
Yeah.
And up against dudes that are bigger than him. So he's done a great job all night on both sides of the ball.
Well, and he moves around quite a bit because, you see him on the line a little bit. You see him at fullback even more.
Yeah, sometimes he changes his number. 43, 55, you never know.
Play action. Hetzel looking towards Maker, switches off to him. Has Ortega in the middle, just a little bit too hard. Good ball, just a little bit too much on it. But let's finish this. So our Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping Level 10 teammate goes to a player who might be considered more of an unsung hero by some, but delivered a Level 10 effort. And tonight, that's Dalton House. Great game overall. And that's the winner of the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping Level 10 teammate.
Well deserved. He's made a lot of tackles, sideline to sideline, some good hustle plays downfield. 4th and 15 here. This ends
it if they don't get it. Yeah. You can basically kneel on it. Maybe you can kneel on it, actually.
They can.
Coming out of the snap late, they don't have a timeout. Hetzel looking downfield, drops it off short.
He's going to be short.
And that's going to be a tackle by Cram, short of the first down marker. Juwan the reception, but that's going to be a turnover on downs. Blue Jay first down.
Yeah, with the play clocks, I'm pretty sure you're.
Well, and they don't have any timeouts.
No timeouts. You're able to take a knee here and get out of here with a victory.
36-26, so decently high scoring still.
Yeah, you had 35.
35-28 was what I told you before.
I had 28-21.
But we also said there's no way it's actually going to end up on even sevens.
No, not with the amount of PATs missed, and there was a couple field goals in there.
I'll let you chat for a little bit. I'll try and get us some stats. How about that?
You get your numbers together. Try to figure out who your player of the game is. It looks like with this victory, Jays are going to go to 3-1. Going to start district play next week going to go to Newton, which I believe will be televised.
MediaCom's picking that baby up, yeah.
So that'll be pretty exciting. It looks like Lewis Central is going to host Glenwood, which they were victorious
my
tonight.
bad. Channel 13, not MediaCom.
Yeah,
Even better.
Well, I knew what it was, but I
Yeah.
was just going to let it slide.
Well, I don't want to give people wrong information.
They'll figure it out when
they turn it on.
when they
that's
don't
not
have
us.
MediaCom.
I don't, so I wouldn't have been able to watch it. I'd just have to go to the game.
So second knee there. We'll probably have to do one more here to finish this thing up. Like I mentioned before the game, huge victory for the Jays just because there's not a lot of other options on this schedule that are going to really boost your computer numbers. Lewis Central will probably be okay just because I think they had the second or third hardest schedule, maybe the number one schedule.
It definitely was so far.
Coming into tonight, and probably won't change a whole lot with their district. So great victory for the Jays. You got things figured out enough where you can throw out a Vision Bank player of the game. Night.
Well, I tell you, it's kind of a player of a half each way, right? Because you had one person that dominated offensively in the first half and one person that was key to the touchdowns in the second half. So
who had more touchdowns?
Who had more touchdowns?
Yeah.
Well, technically, you count the defensive one, then okay. So your player of the game, Vision Bank player of the game, is going to go to Titus Graham with his stuff is getting thrown up here. 24 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception touchdown. Returned for a touchdown for about 50 yards. Titus Graham, Vision Bank player of the game. Blue Jays win 36-26. We're going to see if we can't grab a sideline player for
that. Are we picking a random one, or we got one in mind?
Well, we're going to try to get Titus. We'll see if he's, if he's available.
If he's willing to talk to us.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Have you done anything to make him mad lately?
No.
All right. Well, then maybe he'll talk to us.
Yeah, it looks like Von Steen's down there right now. Yep. He's reining them in.
That Blue Jay Digital team, they're out there on the hustle too. Garrett's running back forth across the field. Claire Meisland probably has 500 yards in.
She's just getting herself ready for cross country.
All right, let's see if we can get a hold of him.
Preston.
Yeah, he's almost here.
He's almost here. We got Garrett on the hustle here.
Just got the headset on.
We're not on. Can you hear me? All right, there we go. How you doing, Titus? Hey, so congratulations, you're the Vision Bank player of the game. Oh, you don't have him.
Garrett needs to change the audio.
Oh, we got to change our audio down there. Hold on 1 second. We'll see if we can't get this. What's that? Yeah, Gibson's always got a smile on his face.
Tell Garrett he has to change it.
Garrett, you got to change the audio input. All right. Well, if we can't get the audio, we're just going to cut it. But, hey, good game, Titus.
He really wants to talk to us, too.
He does. I know. That's too bad. Titus was going to have a lot of fun stuff to say, but we'll let him get back to his team. I don't know. We'll figure that out for next time. But, yeah, so Titus Graham, Vision Bank player of the game, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Following that up, Caleb Moore had about 75 yards. Cole Miller was piling on some yards there at the end for another 10 yards. Jordan Ryle finished up 6 of 10, 84 yards and a touchdown. And pretty much second half, all 3 of his completions were to Reed Falsgraf, and almost everything was in the end zone as Reed had 33 yards in the second half to finish with 47 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that was probably there earlier in the night, but we just didn't
Yep.
go to it. Didn't feel like we needed it yet, and probably made it more open as the night went on. But overall, just a really nice performance in all 3 phases. Our special teams were better. Defense was more consistent tonight, and we were able to control the ball.
Avoided
on the
some
ground.
mistakes.
Yep,
I mean, those 2 turnovers late really completely changed the game.
for sure.
But I think for us, I think we'll just call that a night, right? You got anything else you want to tell
nope.
people? Otherwise,
We're out a couple weeks again.
tune into Channel 13 next week if you can't make it to Newton, or just go to Newton and enjoy that. But tonight, we'll go ahead and go with the Blue Jay victory. Good night, and go Blue Jays.